fireside chats, not to be confused with someone's suicide chats.
Yeah, suicide chats is when all your
Who's
pipes...
the guy? Owen?
I don't know his name, but all his pipes broke in his shitty little apartment and they flooded everywhere. So I don't know, I don't remember his name, but I guess he had to stay at like a Motel 6 or whatever, you know. I heard a lot of stories about that, but I don't know if we should share those. I don't think we should share those stories about how the time he didn't pay a male worker his $750 allegedly, and he came back to that Motel 6.
His name was Owen, wasn't it? Owen.
Owen? Owen, yeah, Owen. Not to be confused with Owen. Owen. Well, let's go ahead and share this out with the Discord with a couple people.
Okay, you gonna do it from that?
I'm gonna share it with them, but you can pull up the. We got anybody in here yet? You can pull up. Oh, we got one person in here. Thank you, thank you. We can send this to a couple people. I'm gonna see how it looks too. Let's see. Live.
You're gonna have to help me keep up with all this.
Okay, we got 2 people in here so far. That's fine.
So I go to live here. There we go. Now, even though this is lagging, we should be able to see our chats.
Yeah, we should be able to see the chats.
Let us know where y'all coming from out there.
Drop us some comments. Drop us some comments where you guys are from. Let me go ahead and share it out with the Discord.
Ah, Tracy's in the house.
He thinks Time just messaged me. He said, get this sage Democrat out of here. He's a narcissist. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. We should ask him. That should be one of the first questions we should ask him. We should say, who is smarter than you? Is anyone smarter than you? What's your guess he's going to say on that one? Democrats think they're better and smarter than everybody. Is that not 100% true right there? But you know what? Go ahead and message him. Ask him if he's ready, because we got about 10 people in here and we're moving steady. England watching, go Trump, hell yeah.
All right.
What did he say, K?
He said K, so.
Okay, you can
Start
give him a call. Yeah, we might smash that like button, everybody. Yeah, we might as well start a call. Is the volume up? Smash that like button. Oh, turn off the volume on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I've got to
I can hear you.
fix a little something here.
Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
How you doing, man? Happy Friday.
What's going on, bro?
We're just out here in Tennessee enjoying the beautiful countryside. How are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the American the Save American Act?
What do I think of the Save American Act? I think it's a little. Would I vote for it the way it is? Probably not.
What's wrong with it?
I think right now we're going after something that rarely happens. With we have data that illegals are not voting, but I think they're making it a little too difficult to prove citizenship. With our driver's license, we should be able to prove citizenship if we have the driver's license. I don't know what it's called in your state, but the driver's license that's connected to your social security card and everything else.
You talking about the real ID?
Pretty much. Yeah, the real ID, which I can cross over to Canada with as a passport, because I'm up here in Maine. So I'm pretty, as long as you have real ID, I'm for bringing real ID.
Well, I was myself, but my issues now with real ID is now they have green cards. They are legal immigrants at the time, but they qualify to have a real ID as well. So that's the only problem. We're right back to square one. People with green cards aren't allowed to vote. And there's a lot of states that's all they require is, and Arizona being one of them, is a driver's license.
So what happens if you do a name change and you don't have the verification paperwork to go down there and vote?
That's simple. You have a birth certificate. Now you say name change. You're talking about like if you get married or you just up and change your name, period, right?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
I don't change your name. Let's say I don't have my birth certificate. I just want to.
Well, that's where we have to be adults and keep up with our paperwork because we should all have our birth certificate.
I understand that, but let's say I don't.
Well, you're not responsible enough to vote because that is that is the bridge gap to everything. Every married person, every woman that took the name of their husband, even now, is going to have a birth certificate to bridge the gap between their name change and the birth certificate is a marriage license.
Do you think with modern technology it makes, and we're doing this because how many people are illegally voting?
I think more than they're reporting.
Is one illegal voting? Is one illegal too much? Like, what's the number we should cap it at? Is one person voting illegally too much, or should we say it has to be 1 million? It has to be 30,000. It has to be enough to change an election. When does it become?
No, because the argument is one too much is a bad argument. To be honest, because it's already a crime, right? It's already a crime to illegally vote. We already know that. So that person would be charged and go to jail. But if you're going to go with the one is too much, is one mass shooting too much to keep guns? You see how it's a bad argument when people do is one too much.
Yes, but getting rid of guns doesn't keep schools safer. They have school shootings all across the world.
Again, is one too much is a bad argument.
Not when you're comparing it to guns. Guns are already here.
Switzerland has plenty of guns. Like they have like 12 guns per person. They don't have any school shootings. So
that's not the argument. The argument is if you start to go with is one too much. The argument is okay. Well, is one of anything too much?
No.
So no, we don't do the one is too much. We basically have crimes and we have jails, right?
Yeah, but the problem there is enforcement, and there's not enough enforcement.
But there is enough enforcement.
No, there's not.
Just enough voting.
No, there's not. Look at Arizona.
Can you prove to me with data and actual proof that illegals have voted?
yes, I can, but you're gonna say it's not significant enough to change an election, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the problem is the harder you look, the more comes out.
No, it's not. No, that's actual proof and evidence. If we've actually recorded this for over 50 years, how many actually illegal people have voted?
This is where I would like.
Those are only the people that got caught. We only know about the people that got caught.
Yeah, and why are Democrats even going to go after them? Why are they even going? That's their vote. That's a big portion of their voter base. Why are they going to expose what it is that's keeping them in power? That's
Well, because Republicans would be in power right now to expose them, and but they're not exposed. So I don't understand why you think the Republicans could also be exposing them, right?
There's too many telltale signs. You know, for instance, I've not seen one Biden shop, but there's Trump stores everywhere.
They have Biden hats and they have Kamala hats. They have all this merchandise, but I've never once in my life seen any person wear it.
You're basing it on store merch?
I'm not basing it on store merch. I'm basing it around going around the country.
I'm
and around
basing
the
it on
world
supply and demand, and there's no demand for that merch because nobody's voting that way. So they're obviously cheating.
I don't think that's a good argument because I don't think everybody's going to want to wear a Biden hat around. I don't know. The cultish MAGA people do. So are you telling me
the cultist MAGA people, past presidents have Bush. All past presidents have had hats and merchandise, and they all look at Bush. More people wore Bush hats and Bush T-shirts than they did Biden.
Then they have to be wearing MAGA stuff.
I mean, it's not even that. When they were campaigning, Biden couldn't fill stadiums with the help of Obama even. And at that point, I would like to say that Biden can't fill a Shoney's restaurant if pussy was free on the buffet.
Okay, so we're talking the 2020 election now, right?
No, we're making an example that nobody is supporting that shit.
I think what election you're talking about.
I'm saying nobody supports Democrats is what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making.
Well, I'm telling you that Democrats are starting to win all these other elections that are going on right now. Like a Democrat just won Florida in the county of Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant. We have a
That's-
super majority in Florida. All three parts of government.
What
the
was
governor,
the percentage? What was the percentage they won by? What was the percentage they won? What was the percentage they won by?
50, I think it was 56 or 53%.
Wrong.
I think it was 56.
No, wrong.
Okay.
It was 49 to 50. It was 49 to 51.
And we already have a lot of illegals in Florida.
Yeah, but can you prove that the illegals voted?
I don't think
I
that was
can
the
prove
case.
illegals have voted before, but I can't prove it's been enough to change an election because it hasn't been.
But that's
thoroughly
not a blue
investigated.
wave. That's not, ooh, the Democrats are sweeping Florida. They still don't have a pot to piss in. They don't call the shots in Florida. It is still a super majority for
What is
Republicans.
your argument here?
Can you name?
That nobody supports
Can you
Democrats is my argument.
Can you name any? Can you name any Democrat governors that are running for candidacy for governor in 2026 for Florida? Because 90% of Florida can't.
I haven't looked it up.
Well, you know about the little Democrat news about Florida, but you don't know. Like no one in Florida even can tell you. I can't even tell you what Democrats are running for governor because we've had a Republican governor for 27 years. No one's even thinking about Democrat
Nobody
candidates.
supports Democrats, but Democrats have been winning these special elections and could probably take the midterm.
No, they ain't gonna take the midterms if
I mean,
there's voter ID.
I can pull you up CNN articles. It says they're either gonna lose. They're gonna lose something. They might win one area or another.
They
But
lose
even
elsewhere.
CNN, they're gonna lose elsewhere.
So
There's no landslide. There's no blue wave. And
There's no
and
gain.
their
There's no
chance
net
of-
gain.
Their chance of winning is very, very slim. Even if they do,
okay, then what? That's great. Then you guys should be fixing things. So let me ask you a question. Like right now, you control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Why don't you have an immigration bill in place?
we don't need an immigration bill. We had the big beautiful bill. We had the big beautiful bill that allocated all the funds to secure the border. We've had zero crossings. Why would
There's
we
existing
need?
laws that we're currently
We've had-
using.
all we
Bill
have to-
Clinton put in some of them himself.
We have plenty of existing laws.
You're using an executive order, which can be overturned at
The big beautiful bill is not an executive order. What executive order are you talking about?
The big beautiful bill funded ICE. It didn't change immigration law.
We don't need to change immigration.
Yeah, there's
law.
laws in place.
What law? Okay, but if you're using an executive order, I can cite you a law right now that
What's-
you're going to argue with.
What executive order? What executive order? You keep saying.
Trump put the executive order in to handle the immigration.
What's the name of the executive order? What does it do?
I don't know. I'm looking through my computer right now.
So you don't know the name of the bill and you don't know what it does, but we're supposed to believe you.
Donald Trump said I didn't need to change the law. I just needed an executive order.
What was the executive order if you don't know what
we
it
just want
is?
to know the order so we can look it up.
I don't know. Google it. Look it up.
Also, time on my side, drop a $5 super chat. He said, seriously, ask Sage why his IQ is so much lower than his. I would like to see you guys debate. Because demeaning people and saying that you're smarter than everyone is just wrong. I mean, no one's smarter than everyone.
I tried debating him in your Discord, and he couldn't even remember the conversation we had 5 minutes ago.
I don't believe
Well,
that.
you can't remember the bill.
You can't even remember bills.
So you don't have no right.
If he can remember everything of the little details, the
You
bills,
should
the
be able to,
laws.
too.
I mean, this guy has a photogenic memory. I have a hard time believing.
We're going to come up and start debating
Another Democrat double standard.
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, who is smarter than you? Who has a higher IQ than you? I'm just curious. Anybody?
Probably. I mean, what's your...
He's not ever given it no thought.
I mean, where are we going with this? This is debate.
I'm just trying to see if you're a narcissist or not, but I like that you came with a different energy this time. Huh?
How about the war we're handling Iran that we're probably not going to...
Always talking about voter ID.
I mean, we can talk about Iran, but
Yeah.
there's still a lot more to talk about voter ID. I'm
How
still...
about the tariffs that were shot down by the Supreme Court? How about IEPA?
Well,
that's just
that's a
one
lot
tool.
of pivoting. If you
Yeah.
want to go into each topic, we can, but it takes...
Listen, you told me that you said, what would I like to debate? So now I bring up topics, and now you're telling me I'm pivoting.
Okay, then can
Well,
we agree that
we started one
Can we at
place.
least agree on one common ground before we move on? We need more things. We need to secure voting. Can we agree on that? We just disagree how we do it. We need more secure voting. We agree on that.
I believe that you should show ID to vote, yes.
Okay, so the states in the previous elections that didn't have real ID and let illegal alien immigrants get driver's license, that was wrong for them, and they're allowed to vote with driver's license, that was wrong of those states to do?
No, because states have sovereignty over how they decide voting.
But you
Yeah,
just agreed that we need more secure elections, so you disagree on them making the elections, open and free for illegals. Those are contradicting statements.
If you ask me my opinion, I give you my opinion. But if you're asking me a fact in regards to what happened in states, I'm giving you the answer to the fact.
But you're contradicting yourself.
My opinion, yes, we can show ID, but if states choose not to do that, according to the Constitution, they have the right to choose how they handle elections.
My issue.
What is it called when when federal law oversees state law? What is that called?
In regard to election?
No, not elections. I'm just saying like crime and whatnot.
Well, what point does that have anything to do with this?
Well, federal law oversees, I think it's the supremacy laws.
No.
It's called the supremacy clause. It's called the supremacy clause. And we should have something similar when it comes to elections. Don't you agree that all elections, like every other country, is mandated through the federal government?
Well, I don't care.
Well, you could argue that the supremacy law is also against the Constitution. What would you say about that?
Yeah, and my issue.
Then why isn't the supremacy law against the Constitution? If it says
Change the Constitution, bro.
we don't have to change the Constitution, we already have things like the supremacy clause.
Yeah, because the issue with state and federal is that state's fine when it's just state things, but when it's for a federal seat, it can be one state that disenfranchises the entire nation.
Victor, by the way, Victor says, go ahead.
The Constitution, and 60 judges agree with me. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Change the Constitution.
What case do the judges agree with you on? What specific case?
There were 60 court cases that they tried to get elections that were either thrown out or turned down for lack of evidence.
You're talking about the election fraud in 2020. You're not talking about federalizing the election system.
Yeah, turning away cases is not seeing cases. That's judges being cowards.
Victor's...
No, it's not actually. Listen to me. I'm telling you that I would not federalize the election. No.
It should be federalized.
You don't think it would be more secure and safe like every other country has a federalized election?
Listen, then go change the Constitution.
Well, forget about your thing with the Constitution. It's not against the Constitution. If it's against the Constitution, what part of the Constitution is it against? Please tell us. You keep saying it's against the Constitution. Where in the Constitution? What's the article? What's the amendment?
Look it up. You're at a computer.
So you don't know.
Is federalized elections against the Constitution?
But Victor says that Time and Sage cannot debate, they instigate each other, which I'm going to have to agree with that comment. Thank you, Victor, for that super chat.
Okay, so I'm trying to, anything else? I mean, if you ask my opinion, I can give you my opinion.
Okay, well, let's pretend for a second that the Constitution doesn't say anything about it. Let's ask your opinion with, no?
No, I can't do that.
But
I can't do that.
You say you value the Constitution so much, but you can't remember the article or the amendment or anything like that.
Is federalized federal elections against the Constitution?
I mean, you know that's why they can't do it, right?
No, they've never tried it.
I know you know this, right? I know you know that it's in the Constitution. I know because you wouldn't have to federalize it if it wasn't in the Constitution.
Okay. Can I read what I've just discovered here on federalized federal elections? The question of whether or not federalized elections essentially moving control from states to the central government is constitutional is one of the most debated topics in American law. The short answer is the Constitution creates a shared responsibility. It gives the states the primary power to run elections, but grants Congress the authority to step in and override state rules for federal contests. Exactly what I have an issue with. I'm good with states doing whatever states want to do, but when it's when it was a federal election, Now, that affects the entire nation, not just that state. And one state could disenfranchise the entire nation. Let's just say Fulton County, Georgia.
Texas went to court over this and lost.
Hey, I just read it to you. I just read it.
And we also have the Constitution
election
pulled
clause.
up. It's Article 1, Section 4, just so you can remember it.
Yeah, the election clause, Article 1, Section 4, this is a tug of war clause, which is what we're arguing over. It explicitly states the times, places, elections for senators, representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof, but the Congress may at any time by law make or alter such elections. So the feds can step in.
It says it straight in the Constitution.
In the Constitution.
It says it in the
Under
Constitution.
the election clause, Article 1, Section 4, rest my case, boom.
I mean, literally, all you
God
have to do
bless
is
AI.
read past the first sentence and you can see it. It's right in the Constitution, clear as day.
Well, then, listen to me. What part did you prove me wrong? I told you that it's in the Constitution. Is it?
It is in the Constitution
Yeah.
that the feds can step in and alter.
Perfect. So, okay, so wait, stop. He asked me if what they did
Stop.
was wrong in 2020.
Stop.
I said, no.
Stop it, Graham!
I said no, right? So why did I say no? Because Congress never did that. So I answered your questions factually. So what was your...
You said Congress, you said they can't federalize it because the state holds all the power.
Yeah, you did say state holds all the power. State does not hold all the power,
You said,
obviously.
you said
according
it would
to
be against the
Article 1,
Constitution.
Section 4.
You said it would be against the Constitution to federalize it.
Right now, who holds the power? Without Congress, right now, who holds
The
the power?
state and Congress.
Yeah, the state and Congress, even though they've been...
Congress has to... Congress has to pass a law. If it doesn't pass, then they can't do anything.
Well, boom, there we go. We got
So
this.
it can be
we got this-
federalized.
we have this...
You said it cannot be federalized. You said it's unconstitutional to federalize the election. It's clearly not. It says the Congress can do so.
Correct. But you asked me...
So we're right.
So you concede. So you concede then. You were wrong.
No, you...
The man with the 187 IQ can't remember Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution.
You asked me about 20...
If you have 180 IQ, why can't you remember Section 1 or Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution?
This is the problem I have with when I bring this stuff up.
You can't remember one teeny eensy bit of the Constitution, but you have 187 IQ or whatever the fuck you said it was, 200 IQ? 350?
Say that.
Well, what was your IQ then? Because Time on my side also wants to know what your IQ is.
4,000.
4,000% of not knowing the Constitution. The Democrats scream and preach that they know the Constitution, and when
That
you read
is the
two
result.
sentences of the Constitution, they're
A
wrong.
1,000 IQ is a result of 21 chromosomes.
You understand what I
1,000? I have a 1,000 IQ.
You understand what I actually measures?
Well, obviously, if your IQ is really 2,000 or 3,000 or 200, it doesn't mean you're smart, I guess.
Do you understand what IQ measures?
Do you understand what it measures? Because I guess it doesn't mean you're
Memory
smart.
retention for...
Well, one of the things, it measures a lot of things, but one of them is definitely memory retention, which you don't have.
Do you understand the IQ measure? Oh, yeah, I'm trying to explain how we have this conversation, and you basically deflect and pivot.
Well, you're deflecting
We
and
deflect
pivot.
and a pivot from federal elections.
You asked me if I would do that.
All right, that's 1-0. So we won the first point. We're going to move on to whatever you want.
You're right. You win every point.
No, I just won that time. You conceded.
No, I didn't concede.
You conceded aggressively that it could be federalized if it was voted by Congress, which you said multiple times it couldn't be.
But that wasn't the conversation we were
It
having.
was. I said we can federalize the election. Can we not?
We were, you could if you get it passed in Congress.
That's not what you said. You said it was all up to the states, and that's unconstitutional.
No. Listen to me. Pay attention. I want you to really pay attention. We started talking, and you said in 2020.
No, you put years on things. I never said anything about 2020 or 2024.
Never mind. Move on. Because I don't know what to tell you.
Well, 1-0. Okay, so what's the next thing you want to talk about?
How are we doing at the war thing? Do you like the gas prices? Would you like to talk
Yeah, I
about
love the gas prices. They're
Yeah.
still a lot cheaper
They're-
than they were 2
It's
years
going to keep a
ago.
lot of bad Democrat drivers off the highways.
I say we raise the gas prices to like $15 a gallon, so none of y'all can drive. It'll just be us on the road.
I mean, I would pay $15 a gallon for fuel as long as Democrats at least have to pay 10. The roads would be so much safer.
You think?
Oh, I know.
Okay. Okay.
See, I'm an actual truck driver. I'm on the road. I'm not somebody that's dispatching.
Hey, you know I have a CDL, right?
Do you use it?
I'm a Class A CDL. Since
Do you
2000.
use it?
Currently, yes.
Really?
Yes.
What do you use it for? I mean, do you use it to break into houses? I mean, what do you use it for?
Driving.
What do you drive?
I have a 150.
A 150.
An
You
F-150?
understand that my CDL license also allows me to drive cars?
So you drive a
Wow.
Ford, you drive a Ford
So you
1
got a
F-50.
CDL so you can drive. Yeah, that.
So wait a minute.
He's got a bed. He is a. I'm
He's
sorry.
a trucker. He drives
Hey,
the F-150.
Look, Sage, I want to apologize. I did not realize you drive a Ford F-150. You are a truck driver. I'm sorry, and I do apologize.
Yeah. Let me see if I get this right. You think that I should still be behind the wheel when I have a carrier and a brokerage? I own trucks. They work for me. And a freight broker.
The point is, you're not on the road. Let me tell you what. I drive more backwards with my eyes closed than you do forward, pal.
I guarantee you did.
I guarantee you I do.
In the chain.
I guarantee you I do to this day. I use SA CDL. It ain't just a bragging rights. I can sit in the trucker section of the TA because I've got CDL Class A on my driver's license. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Why is it that they have a trucker section in a truck stop if you're such a truck driver? Tell me, what's the truck driver section originally for?
The DAT board was the. Do you know what the DAT board stands for?
You're talking about the load board.
Do you know what that stands for?
I know what the load board is. I've never had to dispatch my own loads, but that's not why. Those are all over the truck stop. I'm talking, you go sit down in a restaurant and you've got a trucker section and you've got a normal civilian section, a four-wheeler section. Why is it that only truck drivers are allowed in that section?
I don't really care.
Oh, because you don't know. Of course you don't care.
I know I'm
it's
not
because
a-
back in the day there weren't cell phones, and it gave truck drivers the opportunity, the first-hand chance to use phones. You ain't no truck driver.
Right.
You ain't no truck driver. Don't you sit here and say you're a truck driver. You know what? I don't even believe you're a veteran at this point.
Well, I just said it was.
Dude, you ain't even a veteran. You ain't even a veteran. You sitting here lying about being a truck driver. You know, I went and bought an AR-15. Am I G.I. Joe now?
Well, I just said it was for the load boards. And you
Listen,
just said it was for the
Listen,
load
I'm gonna hop in here because another trucker has a question for you. He dropped a $5 super chat.
Wait.
Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
said it was for the load boards, and you just said the same thing.
Yeah, but that's not all. That's not the main reason. Load boards are all over the truck stop. They're just not in the dining section. They're not just in the dining section. They're in the sections where you're doing your laundry. They're outside the waiting room for your showers. They're at the checkout station. They are everywhere. But when you're sitting down eating a meal, why is it there's a truck driver section? It's because they get first priority over four-wheelers. You don't know. It's just something else you don't know, Mr. 1000 IQ.
You asked me. This is what happens. Every time I prove you wrong, you talk over the top.
I'm listening.
Let me reset the
It's not
conversation.
my fault you retarded.
Let me reset the conversation for a second. I have a question from a trucker. I'm not a trucker here, so don't ask me any trucker questions. I don't know. But he has a question. He said, how does one have a Class A if they're unable to utilize it?
What does that mean?
How does one have a Class A if they're unable to utilize it?
Well, I'm going to have to take up for him on this one. He can go out of his way and have a Class A and never once drive a semi-truck. He can do that. It doesn't make him a truck driver, though.
Once you have a Class A license, I can maintain that license. I don't have to go out on the road and keep driving. I make, just like you have it's the same as you have a car license. You don't have to drive a car, but you can have a license.
Yeah, he can have it.
Once you've obtained a CDL, you have it.
But it just means you have a Class A CDL. It doesn't mean you're a trucker. That's like saying I bought me a new assault rifle. All of a sudden, I'm military. Ooh! You ain't no trucker, pal. You ain't no trucker. You're a dispatcher. You're a dispatcher, pal.
Well, thank God. Yeah, I'm a dispatcher.
Yep, you're a dispatcher. Get it straight.
You win.
Tracy wants you to know the guest is a liar, and I agree. A liar, IQ liar.
Dang.
That sounds about right. That sounds like a proper English.
Well, I mean, it says Tracy wants to know the guest is a liar, and I agree. A lie, IQ liar.
A lie, IQ liar. Is she foreign?
This is time.
Or is that English?
She might be Oriental. She might be Asian.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, this isn't an inquisition, anything else. We're just shooting the shit and talking back and forth. You don't have.
It's boring me because, like I said, every time I try to prove a point, you talk over the top of me, so people bore.
In all fairness, you do the same thing, Sage. I'm just not bitching about it.
Then why do you have me on?
It's entertaining.
You asked me.
I think that, honestly, I think this is the most productive conversation we've had to date, to be honest with you.
I agree with that. I mean, he was screaming a lot louder last time.
Not really. I like screaming though. So what's your?
I know you like screaming, and I yell
The
like a
bitches
man.
usually do.
Screaming is for bitches. Men raise their voices and they yell, but we don't scream. And they say I have a high pitched voice. They say I have a high pitched voice.
Stop it!
They say I have a scruffy looking beard. They say I have a high pitched voice. But then I look at you and I feel a little bit better.
No, that's because you're gay, so I understand it.
No, it's because you're gay.
Wait a minute. What's the big deal? I thought that you
I thought you were about being
were
gay.
okay about people being
How
gay.
many genders do you believe there are?
I said I was okay with it.
Hey.
I just said I was okay.
Just so you know, there's a special going on this weekend for $500 since she's doing so well. For $500, I'll lick these lips and I'll give that man right there a big old wet kiss on the cheek and it won't even see. You're talking over me and this is what you're griping about. I'm trying to tell you about the deal this weekend and you're trying to talk over me.
Are you an owner-operator?
Are you a trucker? What makes you a trucker? Because you have a CDL that makes you a trucker? Because you drive a Ford F-150 that a 15-year-old can drive.
Operator.
That makes you a trucker.
I just asked a question.
No, I'm not an
But you're
owner-op.
stolen valor. That's the
Yeah.
thing. He doesn't claim to be something he's not. You claim to be a trucker when you're
You're
not
not a trucker.
Wait a minute. Why are we getting defensive? I'm asking a question.
Because you're stolen valor. That's why.
I told you, I'm not an owner-operator.
You
There's no reason to
realize
be.
you realize the loads you dispatch to truckers? These truckers can die.
Why
doing
would
their
I
job.
want to be an owner-operator?
Okay, so you're a company driver?
Yes.
Okay, so have you ever been an owner-operator?
No, I've not had to be.
I'm not.
I write my own check, literally. I literally write my own check.
Company drivers. I'm just asking. I'm not bashing company
No, I'm a
Listen.
company driver.
Listen, I'm gonna step in. I didn't think
I've
this
done
was a
well.
trucking. I didn't think this was a trucking debate. I thought this was like a political
No,
debate.
I just asked a question. I'm not bashing in either way. I just asked.
Yes, I'm a company driver.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's cool.
Well, I have one last trucking question for you because you throw around the word trucking and you talk down the truckers and whatnot. I just want you to know this is not really a debate. I just want you to know that all the truckers
I don't talk down the truck.
claiming to be a trucker is actually a disgrace because for this one sole reason, you know more people have die every year trucking than they die in any foreign wars or any foreign conflicts. Like it's not even close. Yes, that is.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
You're telling me more truckers have died than in World War I and World War II?
I'm talking about modern day.
You didn't say modern day.
Okay, well, we're going to retract and go back modern day.
I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about 50 years ago.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, I never said I was a trucker. I said I have a CDL license.
Well, someone else said something.
You guys called me a trucker. You called me a trucker. I told him I have a Class A CDL.
No, I said, are you a trucker? And then you said yes. And then I said, what do you drive? And you said, I drive a 150. And I go, oh, an F-150. You drive it? Yes. So that's how that conversation went, pal. You can back us up. This is out on the internet for forever. You can back us up and find it.
Listen, I know we don't have a 300 IQ, but one thing we do have is basic memory retention.
Oh, so now it's sarcasm. I called him out on his line. It's sarcasm.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you guys.
Okay, so Tom on my side wants to know.
So is it sarcasm if I say that I'm a military man now because I went and bought an AR-15? Or is it stolen? No, it ain't. That would be disgraceful if I actually said and meant that. And you can't see sarcasm. I can't see you. And I can't hear sarcasm.
Listen, let me ask a question. If I said I was a trucker, and anybody says, are you a trucker? Yeah, I drive a 150. That's not, you don't consider that funny?
But you said you had a CDL, and then you said you drive a truck.
Well, I defended at that point. You could have just went on with, oh, I've got a Class A CDL. I drive an F-Ford 150.
You understand that
it's good to know that that's all it takes to be a trucker.
Same thing, right? You understand that truck driver and veteran are not in the same category, right?
Hey, let me tell you what. If you free, think a veteran. If you fed, think a farmer. And if it's on your table, think a trucker.
No, Dad, you understand that a veteran is not the same as a trucker.
None of those three things are. But there's more than one way to serve this nation. You know, there's a lot of people that goes unthanked. Your nurses go unthanked. Your mailman goes unthanked.
You keep comparing the AR-15 to the military. That was your comparison.
And you keep comparing a Ford F-150 to being a truck driver. That's why we brought it up in the first place.
That was a comparison made because of your dumbass comment.
Wait, are you a dispatcher, or what about your several businesses?
He's a dispatcher.
I thought you owned several businesses.
How many years of truck driving do I have to be considered a trucker? Of actually driving?
I would say you make it 5. You know what? I'd say the moment you're actually truck driving and making deliveries and you're dedicated to it, at the moment you're dedicated, you're a truck driver.
Yeah, then I'm a truck driver. I did it. I started driving for Schneider at 21. I drove for them for a year. I came back and then ran locally in Buffalo, New York. I then drove for U.S. Food Service for 5 years. Then I went to Coast Guard. Then I left the Coast Guard, and I went and drove over the road for England for like 30 days. And then I bought my own truck, and I drove for a tractor trailer and drove for Landstar. So I did that for quite a long time. So you're now, so I guess you just...
Yeah, but you know what? You could have started out with saying that instead of being an asshole and saying, well, I've got a Class A CDL and a Ford F-150.
But because that was the joke part. So I am...
Yeah, I hear you. It's the joke part.
Once again...
I was a trucker too.
Problem is nobody laughing.
So, I'm just saying, so I am a trucker. So
well, you're just disrespecting the other truckers. You obviously don't respect truckers and what they do. But someone asked in the chat.
I don't respect truckers. I hire them.
Well, you can hire people and still not respect them. Just because you hire someone doesn't mean you respect them.
I've had my guards for a long time. They know I respect them.
Okay, I don't know your relationship with them. Are you a dispatcher, or what about your several successful businesses?
Wait. I'm a licensed commercial trucking insurance agent also. I also do compliance with truck drivers. I 100% respect the trucking industry. I've been in it for 30 years.
I'm just trying to find out if there's more stolen valor, because you claim the time to own several businesses, and now we're hearing you're just a dispatcher. I just want to know your situation.
I'm not a dispatcher. I own a carrier and a freight broker.
How old are you, Sage?
50. Born 1976.
Okay, and you've been in the trucking industry for 30 years. At what point was...
When I was 20 years old, in New York, when you're 20, you can get a B.
Was you in the military too?
For 4 years. Yep.
How was you in the military for 4 years when you're 50 years old and you've been in trucking for 30, meaning you started trucking when you were 20 years old? Did you start in the military when you were 16?
No, I was trucking and then went in the military when I was 24.
Okay, I'm not even gonna dive down into that rabbit hole, but your time ain't adding
In
up.
the Coast Guard,
Your math.
This is even better. Listen, this is even better. When I was in the Coast Guard, I was at a small boat station in Massachusetts. We do 2 days on, 2 days off every other weekend. On my days off, I drove a dump trailer for a local guy in Massachusetts. So while in the Coast Guard, I still drove truck.
Was you in the Coast Guard or the reserves?
No, I was in the Coast Guard. 2 on, 2 off every other weekend.
Okay.
That's what small boat stations do in the Coast Guard. You do 2 on, 2 off, and then every other weekend.
Ah.
So on my days off, when I left the station, I'd go and grab the dump trailer, and I'd run dump trailer for a guy. I don't know, maybe 15 bucks an hour, but it was off under the table at that time. I ran dump trailer while in the Coast Guard on my days off. And before I did that for the guy, I pulled a B fuel truck, and I delivered, which sucked. And I delivered fuel to homes, which sucked in the winter. So that's when I went to the dump trailer. So I worked my days off, still doing something.
Okay.
Time says you got dog walked. What a loser. I'm just telling you. I'm just relaying the message. I'm just the messenger. Don't.
No, absolutely. 100%. You guys 100% dog walk. 100%.
Well, I definitely dog walked you on the political stuff. I could really care less about the trucker
Well,
stuff. That's between you and him.
Let's get off
and the rest of the truckers.
Let's get off the nitpicking of one another and let's move on to something more productive. What do we want to talk about as far as actual politics goes? You pick it, Sage. You pick it, Sage.
You enjoying the fuel prices, or?
Like I told you before, gas prices are still lower than they were under Joe Biden. So yes, I'm enjoying the fuel prices.
Okay.
But I'm not going.
I mean, all I want is honesty. At some point, is there anything that you would say Trump is doing bad? Because I would say Biden.
Yeah, I would. I'll tell you right now, he's not deported Ian Omar, and that pisses me off.
But remember when you wait, let's go back to the Biden thing for a second. You say there's things you can criticize Biden about, but you've actively lied. I've exposed you multiple times. You've actively lied and said that Biden's CPI reports were lower than Trump's.
Is what? I mean, you broke up.
You said that Biden's inflation, his CPI reports were better than Trump's. That is a blatant lie. There's no pivoting. There's nothing you can say.
Go back and check. You can check right now.
I've checked every single one of them.
You didn't check every single one of them.
Every single one of them was higher than Trump's.
Okay. I will post it to my community page tomorrow.
The average CPI report, if you average all 4 years together, it's above like 5.5%.
No, we're not, but you're not taking the average because COVID was in there.
COVID counts. It doesn't matter. Trump was president when COVID was there too. What's the difference? CPI.
Well, do you understand?
Do you understand? Trump was president 1 year during COVID. Biden was also president 1 year during the tail end of COVID.
COVID-19, he was not 1 year under COVID.
What are you talking about? COVID hit in March of 2020. What are you talking about?
So when did President Trump leave office? You just said March of 2020. When did President Trump leave office?
Actually, was it March or was it 2019 or 20? I got the years mixed up a little bit.
November of 2019, COVID was officially kind of declared.
No one knew about it back then.
Couple,
but yeah, fair
Trump
enough.
only had a couple months. It was the end. So what happened with COVID was Trump, before he left office, signed 5 out of the 6 COVID bills, which dumped a whole bunch of money into the
I don't believe that's accurate either.
You can look it up. I don't blame either president for COVID.
Okay, so why are you pivoting the conversation? All the CPI reports are included. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter if there's an earthquake or what.
Okay. I'll put it on my community page post tomorrow.
Even if you look at Biden's CPI reports in 2024, they were still a lot higher than they were in 2025.
Okay. When I plug this into AI, this is what it comes up with. It says that we're comparing two completely different climates as financial climates. Okay. So what we would be looking at would be Trump's record stability versus Biden's volatility and recovery. And for the majority of Donald Trump's term, inflation remained below or near the Federal Reserve's 2% target. The better argument, prices were highly predictable during the first 3 years. Wage growth generally outpaced inflation, meaning Americans saw a real increase in their purchasing power. The context, he inherited a low inflation environment and maintained it until the COVID-19 pandemic caused a brief period of deflation, followed by the start of supply chain disruptions. Joe Biden's term saw the highest inflation in over 40 years, peaking at 9.1 in June 2020. The better argument.
Because of COVID.
They both dealt with COVID.
No, listen to me. Okay, listen. This is how this worked, okay?
It's fine to make excuses on why Biden did a shit job. That's fine. You can make them all you want, but you can't lie about CPI reports, and you can't change the CPI reports and say, well, it would be like this if without COVID. You can't do that.
They change the CPI reports all the time. So listen, let me explain.
So how can we compare them if they change it all the time?
So now you're saying it's not accurate at all, and you can't.
They go back and so it's okay. One thing at a time. We're going to do one thing at a time here, all right? So when COVID hit, 5 out of the 6 COVID funding bills were signed under Trump. He put more money in to save the economy. Okay? We got PPP loans, we got EIDL loans, we got extra money for unemployment. All that was under Trump. 5 out of the 6. The 6th one was signed by Biden. So they threw money at COVID. We all got money to spend, which drove up inflation. Okay? Now, once that was driven up by the money that was thrown at COVID. You agree with that or not?
No, I'm not going to agree with that.
And if there was too much spending going on, Biden signed one bill.
Too much spending. How's there too much spending going on?
No, I'm asking you, what's your argument
The
then?
difference, both presidents spent money, but the difference is that Trump spends the money on American citizens and Biden spends it on everybody but American citizens.
Wait, forget about the number of bills. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
How did we have too much spending going on?
Do you think spending was the issue? Because
You
if
think-
spending was the issue, Biden continued it. Biden spent $2 trillion. Biden spent $2 trillion on his one bill, and Trump spent $3 billion on 5 bills.
Okay, do me a favor. Look up who spent more for COVID, Trump or Biden.
Yes, I just told you the numbers. Biden spent $2 trillion, Trump spent $3 trillion. So if Biden thought the spending was an issue, why did he continue it?
No, it's way more than that.
No, it's not. Am I not looking at the numbers right here, right in front of me?
That's what I'm seeing.
It was like 13
Trump 3.4, Biden 1.9.
There's the numbers, 1.9 versus 3.4.
No, it was like $13 trillion total.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna fire up my computer, and I'm gonna.
I would suggest turning it on instead of firing it up. You might have a meltdown. I don't think they're meant to be set on fire.
All you have to do is look up each COVID bill that was signed. There was 6 of them. And then look and see how much money was in each one of
I
those bills.
did. Biden spent $2 trillion. Trump spent $3 trillion.
Tell me the bills. Tell me the bills then.
I have the list of the bills. Okay, first bill is the COVID preparation and response supplement. Second one is Families First COVID response. Third one is the CARES Act. Number 4 is the Paycheck Protection. Number 5 is the Appropriations Act. Okay, there you go. There's all 5. Trump spent $3 trillion. Biden spent $2 trillion. So why does Biden have 3 times the inflation numbers of Trump? The numbers still don't add up no matter how you put it.
When was Biden's peak inflation?
According to him, it was in 2022.
Wow, after 2 years of Biden being in office.
After
we had
3 years of COVID, you're telling me the inflation was still at a peak high? Okay, whose problem is that? And by the way, another trucker said, I'm taking a Class A and drove a Class C, and I still consider myself a driver, not a trucker. Give me the rig to match it. Shout out Victor. Congratulations on passing your CDL license. I'm sure Sage wishes you well too.
I don't even know why.
But okay, so why? How is this a pivot? How do you calculate for the fact that Joe Biden spent $2 trillion and Trump spent $3 trillion? If you want to make these, even if you made calculations on how much they spent on COVID, Biden's inflation would still be significantly higher than Trump's. And you can't even really do that because we're just looking at CPI reports. We don't give presidents excuses for what other presidents did before. That's such a Democrat thing. But even if we wanted to go that route and said, okay, Biden spent $2 trillion and Trump spent $3 trillion, okay.
You fucked up there. You know you fucked up there. So when Trump constantly blamed Biden, that's a Democrat thing?
Right when he got in the presidency, he did blame Biden. Is he blaming?
He blamed Biden today. He blamed Biden in a speech today.
Well, if he blamed Biden, that's fine. I mean, he's not saying the reason that his CPI reports suck. He's not saying that his CPI would be lower if it wasn't for Biden.
For something going on today.
I gave you the facts. We have like 4 different computers sitting right in front of us.
Literally.
I know, and none of you can fucking figure it out.
We figured it out, but let's try the guy with the 2,000 IQ with his head up his ass. Maybe he can figure it out.
Okay. He blamed Biden for the Department of Homeland Security's shutdown and the economy, which he did kind of run it.
That has not.
Now because you wait on one thing at a time. Let me log into what I'll give you the numbers. Hang on.
But we've been waiting in voice chat for an hour.
I'm an asshole, ain't I?
All right. So the first bill, right? The first one was $780 billion. $7.8 billion.
$8.3 billion, you mean?
$7.8 billion.
What is it called? The COVID's preparation response?
The COVID preparation one, according to the pandemic.gov. This is the .gov website.
Numbers ain't
Mine is
right
from the government website too. Mine is from the U.S. Department of Interior. So what makes your numbers more real than mine? Mine says 8.3 billion.
You know what? You're right. I give up.
No, I'm just asking you a question. What makes your government numbers more real than mine?
There's no need to do this. There's no need.
So you concede then?
Sure. 100%.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking all of this shit with you.
Okay, let's hear your numbers. I just asked you a question and you're having a mental breakdown. I'm asking you a simple question.
Hang on. Okay, here's my question. Do you believe if you throw, let's just pick a simple number. If you throw $5 trillion into the economy and give it to the American people to spend, will that cause inflation?
Yes, we agree, but both presidents did that.
Okay, perfect. So I don't blame Trump or Biden for what they did because they threw money into the economy, which caused an inflationary aspect to our country.
I don't see Biden spending the money on Americans, though. That's the only issue. Everything he had always had something else tied to it that wasn't American.
What are you talking about?
I mean, if you want to go over the rescue plan, we can.
Never mind. I'm good with this conversation. You know, I'm going to stick with one conversation.
We are talking about inflation numbers. You're the one that pivoted into how much money they spent.
Going over inflation numbers. I'm going to try. If I can't hold you to the topic, then I can leave because
I said let's go over the inflation numbers. I asked you a simple question. Why would one government source say something different?
So the inflation. So Biden dealt with. Let's just use simple numbers now. Biden dealt with the $5 trillion while he was president because the money was there and it doesn't go up instantly. It goes up at a pace. So the inflationary aspect of the 9 was because of both Trump and Biden throwing money at COVID. Do you agree?
That is part of the reason, but Biden could have done things to reverse it if he disagreed with it, or he could have fixed it.
Wait. He did do things to reverse it because by the time President Trump took office, it was down to like 2 something. I don't know the exact number.
No, it wasn't. It was still in the 3. I think it was 4% still.
What inflation was at the end of Biden's presidency? Tell me what it was. It was not 9. Was it?
He didn't do anything. It naturally went down because the economy reopened. He could have solved all of Trump's problems. He could have solved all of Trump's spending on day 1. You know what he could have done? He could have reopened the government. He could have reopened businesses, told states they have to reopen, and if they...
No, they couldn't. No, they couldn't. That
What?
would not have stopped it.
Why couldn't
Yes,
they?
it
Wait a
would've.
minute. Wait a minute. Why couldn't we have opened? I'm gonna let you talk. I think.
I'm trying to explain. We had supply chain issues because China was creating a bullwhip effect by opening and closing there. So we had supply chain issues that you couldn't just open businesses up because they wouldn't have had any fucking product. Because we were too dependent on China and they were causing a bullwhip effect. Because how do I know this? Because I'm in fucking supply chain logistics.
Wow, he's getting heated.
So if I look up when China reopened, you're telling me it's not going to be until like 2023 or 2022?
No, what they did was they opened and closed. They opened and closed. Like right before Christmas, when we were buying Christmas stuff, they shut down their factories. They were literally causing what's called a logistical bullwhip effect by opening and closing. You can go back and see how many times China opened and then they closed. Then they opened, then they closed. So for us to say fully open, we needed product. So we would have caused shortages of product.
Okay, the rest of the local economy would be booming. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if truck drivers or, you know, some small businesses start opening up and slowly opening up. That would have been better than nothing. If we have China supply shortages, okay.
The problem was what the businesses that we tried to keep closed were food related. Because some of the stuff that we were getting helped supply foods. Like food isn't, when you get it from the fucking grocery store, it's in things that we get from China. Like cardboard boxes, plastic wrap, aluminum cans. So the problem they were worried about was possible food shortages, like toilet paper shortages.
You do realize that most of our aluminum cans are made here in the States, right? It's a company called Alcoa Aluminum, right?
I gave examples.
Because
Examples of
You
things.
gave
it was a
examples.
bad example.
Where are we getting the aluminum from? To make the cans. Where does Alcoa, where were they getting the aluminum from to make the cans? China.
Dude, they were making it here.
If you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I hauled this shit for 10 years.
Okay, where did they get the aluminum from?
We made it. They made it.
No, we don't make aluminum for food. We weren't making food grade aluminum.
Excuse me? Is Coca-Cola food?
Coca-Cola food?
He said food grade, by the way. Just
Yeah, you said food grade, and yes, they do.
No, we got, listen, I can show you that aluminum was coming from China. That's why Trump tariffed the shit out of aluminum and steel.
So you're saying the reason we shouldn't reopen our economy, even though we have thousands of different industries that don't rely on China, we should have kept those industries closed because we need aluminum cans from China? You don't see how ridiculous that sounds?
Some of them open, weren't they? Some were open, right? Hey, do you remember the toilet paper shortage? Why did that happen?
Most of our aluminum actually comes from Australia, South Africa, and no, Alcoa does not get its aluminum from China. In fact, Alcoa is one of the largest competitors to Chinese aluminum producers around the world.
Correct. But the aluminum for aluminum cans back in 2016 to 2019 and 2020.
I thought we was talking about COVID.
Was coming from China back then.
I thought we was talking about
when
COVID.
China went into the bullwhip effect, things that
That's one hell of a bullwhip if it went all the way back to 2016.
So let me get this straight. Can I ask you a question?
You're right.
No. I'm just gonna ask you a question. Calm down, breathe. No, this is a question. You're so smart. Shouldn't you explain it to the world? Can I just ask you one question?
Sure.
Why did several countries never close down for COVID? Big countries with tens of millions of people, and why did some countries open way quicker? Is it because they weren't relying on China? Is that what you're saying? Like, some countries never closed down.
When one country never shut down?
I can name several. I think Finland, Belarus. I mean, there's like a list of like 10 of them at least.
What countries did not shut down for COVID?
You're saying they're comparable to the United States?
You just said which ones didn't shut down.
Well, you said that the world couldn't reopen because of China.
No, I didn't say the world couldn't reopen. When did I say
So America couldn't reopen because we needed cans from China.
Sweden, South Korea, Belarus, he's right. Nicaragua, Tanzania, Japan. Japan is a big one.
Japan is huge.
Japan's not huge. It's an island, bro. It's not
How many people are in
I
Tokyo?
don't know. Stamped made in Japan is on quite a few products.
What do you consider huge? What's the population of Japan?
It compared to the United States?
I'm just saying, Japan shows up on a lot of products, just like China does as well.
I understand. There's lots of things to show up on lots of products. What's your point? The products.
Japan is pretty comparable. They just have like.
Let me ask you a question. What would opening have done for inflation?
Well, as soon as we opened the country, the inflation started to go down.
No, it's not why it went down.
Why did it go down then?
Since everybody's sitting at home not working, it's going to help inflation evidently.
So everyone sitting at home collecting welfare helps inflation. Damn, I didn't know that, dude.
No, how did opening the country?
What does sitting at home do for it?
That's not what I asked. I asked you a question.
They stopped printing so much money?
No, they didn't stop.
People because when the country opens up, people get off unemployment and they stop printing so much money for unemployment. I mean, it's really simple. That's just one tiny aspect of it.
Trump.
I don't understand. You can't.
How much money did Biden print versus Trump?
President printing money. They are usually referring to two things.
Yeah.
The national debt, how much the
How much
government
money did he print?
Yeah.
For what? Like, I tell you, presidents don't print money. What are
What?
you talking about?
How much money did Biden print money? Okay, I'll answer your question for you. Biden printed $21 trillion. Trump only printed $5 trillion. Yes, it is true. I just Googled it. I'm not pulling numbers out of my ass. I Googled it.
Biden did not fucking print $21 trillion.
What is that, Dusty? What does that say right there?
Biden era
Read right there.
M2 peaked around 21.7 trillion in 2020. Totally under Biden, the money supply actually shrank for the first time in decades starting in 2023 as the Federal Reserve pulled liquidity out of the system to fight inflation.
And read the actual numbers right here. 21 trillion versus Trump printed 5 trillion.
Well,
I'm sorry, what?
All it takes is a quick Google search. Biden printed trillions more.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't understand. Presidents don't print.
So
money.
why
well,
couldn't we?
I mean, the
yeah,
Federal
we know
Reserve
that.
actually prints it, but it's under their administration.
And you're saying that there was more money printed under Biden.
That's what I just read, believe it or not.
So you're saying it was $21 trillion?
That's what I just read.
Okay, so $21 trillion printed, but what's our national debt? So he added $21 trillion to the national debt? So what was the national debt before he took office compared to when he left office? If he printed $21 trillion.
Okay, I'll concede on this fact. This AI is not giving me 100% accurate numbers.
Thank you.
But you still have to concede on the fact that China. See, that's the difference between me and you. I'm not a narcissist. When I'm wrong about something, I'll go ahead and say the numbers I saw or pulled was wrong. Those numbers were wrong. Versus when you literally get proven wrong about the first thing that we debated about in China.
What did we prove wrong? I don't even know what you're even talking about. You asked me, the first thing we debated about, you asked me in 2020 that it could have been federalized. I said no.
And you were wrong.
Yep.
Correct. I was correct because Congress never did it to change it.
You just said we were correct, and then you said correct. I was correct.
Which was it? Oh.
This is normally what happens when you debate the fucking right.
Have you ever conceded one time in a debate ever? Let's talk about your narcissism.
You can't comprehend things. So when I try to bring facts,
You can't comprehend the Constitution. Dude, that was 30 minutes ago. I can still remember it because I actually have memory retention.
I literally just proved my point.
I proved my point. You have no memory retention. It's impossible for you to remember something as simple as Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution?
Yeah, it's impossible.
I guess so.
I literally just proved my point.
What was your point? That you're a narcissist? You can't concede? Have you ever conceded about anything? Have you ever made a mistake in a debate?
Sure.
Oh, wow. I'm actually surprised that you said that.
Yeah.
But did you admit it to the other person, or did you just keep it a little secret and cry about it at night?
Well, I probably admitted it to the person.
Probably.
I mean, tag question, why for you does it have to become personal attack?
It's not a personal attack. I'm just judging, if you think you can be wrong.
I'm just asking, why for you is it, I can start doing personal attacks.
I have not mentioned anything about your personal character.
Why for you is it always personal attack?
I have not mentioned you. I mean, you literally post. You want to talk about the video you posted about me and made an entire personal attack against me?
No, I'm just asking. Like, you ask me questions for a debate. I answer your questions by bringing the facts. Then you turn into personal attacks. Why?
I'm just judging to see if you're a narcissist. If you can't be wrong about anything, then what's the purpose of debating you? That's why.
Hang on a second. That is not. I'm trying to explain to you why is it personal attack.
It's not personal. I'm just asking you, can you be wrong about anything?
Can you do me a favor and answer this question for me and be honest with me?
He sounds like a girl.
Why do you turn to personal attacks?
How is it a personal attack? Asking you if you can be wrong about something, how is that personal?
No, listen.
You can ask me the same question. That's not a personal attack. That's just a question.
You can't answer this question. I want to be honest with you. I have not personally attacked you.
So if I pull that video up right now and show it to my audience, that's not a personal attack? The short you made of me?
Which one?
The short you made of me.
The one with the-
You literally called me a dumbass.
Well, that was a fact.
That's not a fact. I'm smarter than you. I have a higher IQ than you.
Well, the video that I put out, you said that this never happened, then it was proved that it did happen. So
No, that never did happen. I can disprove that too if you remember that claim.
Can you answer my question? Please. I'm asking you.
Caller is
Can you please honestly answer my question? Can you please honestly answer my question? Why is it when you debate and I start to bring attacks and stuff, you then turn to personal attack?
What personal attack have I made against you?
Wait. Every time I hang up, you do it even more. So I really want to know, why do you always turn to the personal attack?
What personal attack have I made to you? And we just established you were the first one to address me online publicly. I never talked about you. I never made anything about you. You called me dumb, and then you said it's facts. It's not a personal attack. The facts are you have no memory retention. You don't know the Constitution. You think you're right about everything. And even when I ask you if you're right about everything, you say, maybe I'm wrong, maybe, but I don't remember if I conceded or not.
I get it. You can't answer the question.
Who personally attacked who first? Go ahead and answer that question.
You can't answer the question.
Okay, if you want to call it a personal attack, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm personally attacking you. Does that make you happy? You started it.
Listen, do you understand what the question is?
Do you understand that you have a fucking neck beard and you think you have a 2,000 fucking IQ and you made a video saying I'm dumb? Even though I'm smarter than you, I'm running circles around you in conversation. You didn't even know the Constitution. We can debate anything in the Constitution and you will lose. Do you want to debate about the Constitution? Fuck Trump. We can see who's the real constitutionist. You or me. You are not a constitutionalist. You do not believe in the core values of this country. That's why you're a Democrat.
Very simple question. Forget everything else.
I answered your question because you hopped online. I never commented on your video. I never mentioned you. I didn't know who you are, and you made a video about me, personally attacking me.
Just today. I'm asking you just today. Okay? Why is it when we try to debate things? Why do you have to go to personal attack?
Because I jumped in the Discord, you started moaning and screaming and acting like I'm stupid even though I messaged you saying that I'm going to call you.
Why are you lying that?
7 other people in the Discord would disagree.
Let's go back to the Discord. What
7
if
other
you
people
said
disagree.
you wanted to debate?
More than that, 10 other people
You
disagree.
said, all right, well, you can call into the Discord. So I went in your Discord and I said, I waited.
I said call on Discord. I didn't say call into the. I didn't say go into VC and.
Okay, so again, I'm going to ask you the same question again. But this will be the last time. Why is it that when you debate, you always go to personal attack?
I never go to personal attacks. The 2 seconds I watched your show for, you demean your guests, you call them stupid and say that's not an insult, that's facts. All you do is talk over people, scream over them, talk down to them, and demean them. And then when I join my VC, you start to talk shit, talk down to me and demean me. Like you have traits of narcissism. And I'm not the only person that thinks this. I'm pretty sure it's like the whole internet. So why do you think people would think you're narcissistic? Is it because you go around saying that you're right about everything and you have a 2,000 level IQ? Did he hang up? He's calling me now. Yeah, he hung up.
Where'd you get that at there? Good.
At your grocery store.
If anyone else wants to call in, y'all can drop a $50 super chat. He ran away once I confronted him for being a narcissist. He can't control his emotions. And yes, if you want to say, oh, I'm still watching you, you're talking shit about me, okay? Okay, let's
let Victor in. Let's see what Victor got to say.
Is Victor here? Victor?
What up?
That guy forgot to make the same as frickin' life.
I was biting my tongue.
I think he's got the Guinness World Record for pivoting, my guy.
He's definitely got the world record for rage quitting off this show.
That was incredible. But the thing that made me the most mad is when he said something and you asked for a source. The one rule for Victor, if you're gonna state something as if it's a quote, cite your sources. He never cited the source. He kept saying, "Look it up on Google." It's your job, buddy. That's your point. You're arguing that point. That is your job to bring in the sources for it. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, this is the second time I've seen him rage quit too, by the way.
Every time he rage quits, and then he says, why are you personally attacking me? He posted a video about me, calling me dumb, and when I exposed him for it, he said, oh, that was facts. That's not an insult.
Yeah, I saw that video. No, those were not facts at all. That was wild. I didn't recognize him at first. I just thought it was just another guy. But
I don't let him come and show his face anymore. Sorry, go ahead.
About halfway through our conversation on Discord, I was like, "Is this the guy who claims to be a dispatcher?" And then he goes and he confirms it on your stream. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun."
I'll give it to him. What he told me was true, and it sounded true after it's said and done. So I'll give it to him. He's a trucker. I believe that once a trucker, always a trucker. I believe he did truck.
But he doesn't respect them, not with that kind of talk.
When Graham read my question, I felt like it was misinterpreted by him because I was just asking, like, genuinely, like, can you keep a CDL once you become disabled? Like, I didn't know that. Then again, I'm not a trucker yet.
Disabled?
Depends on
Wait, he's
the
disabled?
disability. Like if you're type 1 diabetic, no. But let's say you lose a hand, yeah.
Wait, he's disabled? Is he mentally disabled, or he must be disabled in a couple of ways, right?
He said that he had a couple of diseases or something or other.
But a couple diseases is not being 650 pounds and unable to fit into a truck.
Maybe. I know if you have an F-150 and you have a trailer with 14,000 or with a 14,000 pound rating, you need a CD or a Class A CDL and PA. I don't know if that's a CA or PA exclusive or not though.
Is it? Is that PA exclusive?
He's like, what?
To tow 14,000 pounds in Tennessee, do you need a CDL?
Not 14,000. I think it's at 26,000.
No. I mean for the trailer. The trailer is 14,000. 26,000. You still be Class C. That's what my truck is.
Someone said something. Can you pull it up on YouTube?
Yeah.
The Chinese flooded the market with aluminum. That's the reason why Trump did what he did. What do you mean, with tariffs and stuff?
Possible. Yeah. I mean, it would make sense.
They've got a history. I didn't know with aluminum, but I know that the Chinese have had a history of flooding the market with Chinese steel, and it was crap steel too, by the way.
The best part was when he started screaming that he knows about steel because he's in the business and he knows about aluminum or whatever, and then you just proved him wrong. He started to have a mental breakdown at that point.
Oh no, to be honest, when I told you that he and Time instigated each other, that's when the mental breakdown really started.
Well, he seemed pretty calm. I was surprised. When he came in here, he wasn't screaming. He normally starts off screaming right away. This time,
He was way more calm.
I never seen him like that. Never, ever. I mean, he must have taken his Xanax or whatever he takes and chilled out, but then it wore off, I guess.
Yeah, I must have done so right between the time that he talked to Time and right after.
Allegedly.
Right before he talked to you.
Allegedly, though.
Because he was...
He lost his shit and quit.
He did. He did. That was... I was losing brain cells, but I persevered, and when he finally quit, I was like, oh, thank God. And then I heard...
Oh, look, it's Django. I'll debate you, Django. Sorry, Victor, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but...
Hey, look. Hey, what have I talked about? What have I said all weekend long so far?
That you want to debate Django.
That I want, because this is a
This is a prime opportunity, Django.
yeah. I mean,
Okay, well, you know what? If you're gonna debate somebody, I'll hop off. Yeah, I had to call in the minute he said if anybody wants to call in. I was like,
oh yeah. You got anything you want to talk about real quick? We'll let Django warm up in the.
I don't even know if he's ready anyway.
I honestly think that guy does not know the shit that he's talking about.
He says give him 10 minutes.
Businesses and time and shit. He said that he had several businesses when he was talking time. Now all of a sudden he's a freaking dispatcher, and like he can't even keep a story straight.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm actually going to give Sage a little credit because I found some truth in the stuff he was talking about. So I am going to give him a little credit anyways.
When he stops screaming, he's actually not an idiot, but he definitely doesn't have like a 3,000 IQ or whatever he says. He probably has a little bit better than the average Democrat, but definitely not like, not he's not as smart as Time or, he's not that intelligent.
No, and that's another thing too. When we were talking to him, he brought up IQ, and then Time was like, well, why does IQ matter? And then Time brought up that somebody in the Discord server knew what his IQ was. And I was like, you know what, Sage? Guess what Time's IQ was? And he decided he was going to be a smartass instead of giving an honest answer. He said 0. No, that is not an honest answer. Nobody has an IQ of 0 unless they're dead.
That's so true. You know what that is, don't you?
This is what's that hymn called? Prosciutto?
Prosciutto. Yeah, that's some good ass stuff right there.
Now I will say this: I don't know if Sage has an IQ to match Time. And
no,
doesn't seem like
that's impossible. No, if you can't control your emotions, that's a sign of low emotional intelligence. At the very least, your emotional intelligence is very, very low. But likely your IQ is also relatively lower.
Well, then we better be careful with these Democrats because they all have the same emotional IQ.
Are you gonna watch the live stream tomorrow?
I might. I'm off tomorrow for class.
You know what we're doing tomorrow. You know what we're doing tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the No Kings.
Yeah, we're crashing No Kings. You check out my new hat.
I saw it on the stream.
Here, turn on the video on Discord for Victor. Hold on.
Well, yeah, I saw that one. That's good.
Yep. Make elections secure again. Yeah, he didn't He didn't even, you know what? He was so off on even saying that the power lied with the states. No, it doesn't. We read it out. What was it? Now, I'm horrible. I'm not going to say that I remember all that shit, but was it Article 1, Section 4?
Yeah. He can't even remember two numbers. If he would have just remembered the two numbers, I would have said, okay, I'll give you credit. You can't remember what the Constitution said, but you can at least remember where to look for it. He can't remember where to look for it.
Well, in all honesty, the power should belong to the state.
I don't agree with that until it gets federal. When it's because all it takes is one state allowing their people to cheat or take votes, however, whether it's from legals or illegals or whatever shenanigans they pull, they can disenfranchise the entire nation. That's my problem with it. And Fulton County, Georgia.
Don't like big government.
Well, I don't either, but we have big government. But see, there's some things that the states are big.
I'm going to use the bathroom,
Okay.
and then we're going to call them.
We're linked in with every other state through the federal government. So when we're electing a federal leader, I do feel like the feds should be involved to make the securement of the other states feel at ease. I don't care what a state does as far as their state government goes, but when it comes to federal officials, I do believe there needs to be something there, because my argument's Fulton County, Georgia. I don't care how they doctored it up. There were shenanigans in Fulton County, Georgia. There were shenanigans in Maricopa County, Arizona. So that's the only thing. But like I said, I don't.
I want you.
What's that?
I still want you to look up the Battle of Athens.
I started to about a month ago. And I started reading it. I will. I promise you, I will look that up. I should know that because that's only an hour and a half away from where I live at.
Well, to be entirely honest with you, it keeps coming up in these conversations with me because it keeps being relevant.
It keeps being relevant.
Oh, what did Tom say?
Yeah, it keeps being relevant to the time. Oh, that's another thing. Real quick, you might want to catch up on Super Chats.
Yeah, I know. I saw Time dropped one, and also Django wants to call.
Yeah, read off the super chats and then we'll get to Django.
All right, hold on. Let me read this one, and then we'll call Django. For Vic being awesome. Time says you're awesome, Victor.
I try. I ain't perfect, but I try.
None of us are
No one's
perfect.
perfect.
That's just Jesus.
Yeah, that's Jesus' job. Jesus' job is to be perfect.
Now, do we want to bring Django on split screen or just let him call in?
No, just let him call
Let
in.
him call in.
Just let him call in. We'll turn our camera on for him so he can see us face to face, but if he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can hop off because you guys are going to be talking to him, so.
All right, Victor. Much love, brother. I want to talk to you later, but we're doing this right now.
I get you. I just wanted to call in and say hi and tell you that guy was a dumbass.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, you definitely made
Thanks
it.
for
at the
calling in. Yeah, you really pissed him off with those super chats talking about. He went into a full fucking rapid rage.
Well, I kind. But that's my thing too. If somebody's acting a certain way, I call them out on that thing. That's why I am who I am. If they don't like it, they can leave. But
I don't know if I'm friends with the Jank. I thought
Is
I
he
was.
even in the Discord anymore? I'll just send you his Discord.
I don't know how to do it. You're going to have to do it.
I'll send you his name. Can the audio be better? Is the audio not too good? Hold on. If you want, I think my computer has a better speaker. I can try it. It's not charged though. I don't know if the charger will reach.
Is my speaker not doing good?
It could be better, I guess.
Could be better.
I think it sounds fine. I'm just listening outside.
Does it sound fine or no? I'll plug.
That's a good
Time
choice.
says-
Mac has a really good speaker, I will say. So I'll plug it in real quick. Talk to these people.
I need to download some AI on this laptop, but I don't know exactly quite how to do it.
Guys, we're about to have another debate. Let's see. Can I get? Oh, here we go. It turned right on. Let's see. Can I connect to the Wi-Fi real quick? Django, you're gonna have to give us a minute. Let's see. of the, was it Spectrum? Yeah, okay, Spectrum.
I think it was like Spectrum BA or something.
Okay, now it's connected. Now I'm gonna open up Discord. My computer reach where your computer's sitting? Let's see. I don't know if it will or not.
You've got a.
We can put it right here though.
There. No, look right there.
Oh, there's a plug right there?
You can put it right over there on your
Oh, you're
side.
right, I can. But then I'm gonna need another table. So I don't know.
Grab that chair right there.
Okay, I'll grab that one.
Bear with us, folks. We're having some technical difficulties.
I'm gonna have to grab this, y'all, so you're gonna see me run across the screen real quick. I've seen someone drop the super chat. I'm not gonna forget you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'll see if I can find the super chat.
It was a $2 one. I'm pretty sure I saw it on there.
Let's see here. Super chat, super chat, super chat. For Vic being awesome.
Before that, or after that.
It's not letting me go up no farther for some reason.
Oh, that does not sound good. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't set on freaking fire. Okay, we're here.
I did hear that. What the hell?
Yeah, that happens. Guys, we're about to start the next debate. I'll just scroll through the phone real quick because I know I've seen it. Did I miss it? No, there was none. If I missed your... No, I didn't miss it. Nope. That was probably an old one flying by. My phone's not updated. Okay, guys, we're back. Now we're going to call into Django. Let's see. Django. I know I have him in here. I think I have him in here. There he is.
I thought he was in our
I
Discord.
found him.
Is he not in the Discord? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? What the fuck? Hello? Is your mute on?
No, not muted. It just doesn't show up at all. What the frig? We're trying to get another caller, guys. We're getting another caller right now. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to disconnect from the Wi-Fi and reconnect. Okay, we're connected.
Conspiracy.
Hello?
Are you Russian?
Hello,
or
hello, hello.
Was it just a question? Oh, that was that.
Alright, we're gonna end that. We're gonna just reopen Discord and we're gonna close it and reopen it.
Imagine being triggered by a hat.
Imagine being triggered by that.
You know, I'm kind of regretting not getting it, but it was a red hat that said, "Relax, it's just a red hat." Yeah, I kind of regret not getting it.
God bless you. God bless you too, brother. If y'all got any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, feel free to drop some super chats. We're gonna try to call him again. I don't know what the issue was. Oh, I think it's working now. Hello? What the fuck? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hola.
Hello? 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 Connecting? What the frig? All it says is connecting, connecting, connecting. It doesn't load. Disconnected. Why does it say he's disconnected? Voice details.
Did he pay his internet provider?
It says Discord. It says it's on Discord's end.
Oh no, I hope it ain't glitching.
Well, we can try other things, but
So he's not in our Discord no more.
I don't think so. No, it says he's in our Discord. No, he's mutual friends with us. He left the Discord. Yeah, I can't get you on here, Django. It says Discord is fucking up, and I don't have your username, so I don't know what to tell you. Let's see if I can call someone else on Discord. Let me try. Or do we have the VC, don't we? The VC should work perfectly fine. I don't see anyone in VC either. Why is no one in VC?
I'm just now seeing Tom's message. Get this asshole Sage out of here. He's a dumb as shit. Thinks he's smarter than everyone. Narcissist.
I didn't know the Discord ain't working, y'all. Y'all gonna have to give me a break. Hold up. Let me see if it's working on my phone. I don't know. Is it working on my phone? Let's see. Can it work? Let's see if it works on here. Hello? Okay, hold on. Let me call you on my other setup. Hold up. It works on there. Oh, he's in debate VC. Okay. Where the fuck is debate VC? Literally nothing on here shows. What the fuck? Let's try to join Discord via the browser. Maybe it's the app. I don't know. He's in there now. You should be able to find him.
It's not showing up on my debate VC.
Yeah, he says he's in there.
Not showing nothing.
It's only showing on mobile. Is it showing mobile?
Ah, there, now he's showing.
Okay, join there. Change the number of users to 2. User volume, change it to 2. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, user volume. Okay, no, that's not that.
Turn it all the way up. And then, let's see here. Move to, where does it put where you can only...
Here, let me see.
Yeah, go ahead.
See if we can...
Bear with us, Django.
See if you can even hear us. Number of users. No limit. We'll put 2 limit. Save changes. Okay. Hello?
Wait a minute.
Oh, the volume's down. Hold
Yeah,
on.
hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Crystal clear.
Can y'all make sure? Let's ask the audience. Can y'all hear him? It's not the best, but I mean, I tried several times on my better computer.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's going on, man? What did you want to debate about? Were you watching the debate before with the other lunatic?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I think it got a little bit out of hand, and the points kind of got crossed. The beams kind of got crossed over, so I just wanted to clarify a few things, if I can.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Clarify everything you got.
Okay. One, this whole situation around voter ID and voter fraud is based on the premise that Donald Trump said that there was a large amount of voter fraud going on in our federal elections. Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't think it's just Trump.
Well, Trump started it. Let's be real here. So
If you ask me, I'd say Maricopa started it and Fulton County started it, but okay.
Okay, if Maricopa and Fulton County started it, why is Trump still failing to find proof?
There is
Even
proof.
through his first administration.
There is plenty of proof of election fraud. There's just no proof that election fraud is what changed. Well, there's even proof for that now if you go to Fulton County, because that would have changed the election.
Well, I'm sorry, but if this fraud is so large and not on so large of a scale, it should be easy to find, right?
We found it. We found 320,000 votes that were fraudulent
320,000 votes that are fraudulent where?
in Fulton County, Georgia.
And this is verified proof.
Yeah, we've talked about this like many times already.
Where is this that it was fraudulent, or that it was questioned, or that it was being investigated?
The voter rolls weren't certified.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Sure
it does.
it does.
It means they didn't go through the process. It means they didn't go through their voter process in their state. They violated their own rules.
Just because there was no signature on the certification paper does not mean that those votes were fraudulent. Those are two different things.
It means the election process was completely fraudulent. That's what it means.
But you have to understand the argument that you're trying to make here. You're trying to say that those votes itself were fraudulent, not the certifications.
I mean, it means they are fraudulent. If you don't go through the proper process and procedures, it is fraudulent.
Do you understand what happened?
We just explained it to you.
No. Let me break it down to you because I understand exactly what you guys are talking about. The first.
You just said you didn't though, and now all of a sudden you understand
the first
it.
investigation, yes, there wasn't a signature. This was days after the allegations, right? This was days after the election. There was no signature there, but they found why there wasn't a signature due to just clerical oversight. But they still
Okay,
checked
so
all of
they
those
made a
votes.
mistake which resulted in
But
fraud.
They still checked all of those votes and verified those votes at the end of the day.
They weren't verified through all the processes that state law mandated.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
So
You just agreed they didn't have the signatures.
So, wait a second. So you're gonna levy to me that these votes were not eligible?
Yeah, I mean they weren't eligible through the process the state allowed.
I don't know why they didn't sign them. There could be multiple reasons why they didn't sign them. It could be that the votes were fraudulent. It could be that they didn't feel like certifying them for whatever reason. It could go either way.
Once they saw the lack of signature there, they went in and verified each and every one of those votes and made sure that those votes were attached to a United States citizen. So you're trying to tell me that you still think those votes itself is fraudulent?
When did they go back and track them down to each United States
They
citizen?
investigated the heck out of Maricopa County and all of the. Do you understand?
We're not talking about Maricopa.
Just
We're
talking
talking
about
about Fulton. So you don't even know what you were talking about.
I mean, not Maricopa.
You don't even know which county is it in.
I'm talking about Fulton, and I'm talking about they investigated the heck out of both of these places, including Trump himself. He levied all types of lawsuits and investigations while he was still president. So you're telling me a sitting president,
Which they refused to look at. Because they claimed there was no evidence because they refused to look at his evidence.
Looking at this, these were his judges that he put in place.
They were not all of his justices, and they refused to look at it in court. That is a fact.
But
Evidence could never be presented because the judge claimed there was not enough evidence to go to court.
Judges that Trump put in.
I mean, do you want me to Google search all the judges and start telling you which ones are MAGA and which one isn't? I mean, that's kind of irrelevant. Plenty of people that are MAGA have turned against Trump, so that argument is stupid.
There is some cabal that is trying to stop Trump from looking at these votes, and I'm telling you that even now Trump has control of the DOJ. He can lay down on paper exactly how this was fraudulent. Why has he not done so?
I mean, he is. That's why he's trying to change the laws.
He has not. He has not. And we all know that's not
Yeah,
the
he
case.
has. That's why he made the Save America Act. But why are you against voter ID anyway? Like, let's go back to the topic. If you want to say change the election, you're debating about if the 2020 election was stolen. I'm debating about voter ID, and I want to know why you don't want voter ID.
What's the registration process in most states?
All you need is a driver's license.
What's the registration process in most states?
You need a driver's license to vote?
Maricopa
When you
County in
register-
particular.
When you register, what is the paper that you put in on that? What is listed on that paper? What is the process?
Well, it's different in every state, so asking what the process is very a
Maricopa
broad
County
question.
is only required is a driver's license. That's fact. Vlad from American Patriot actually went and proved this. He has a relative from Russia.
What is required to get a driver's license in Arizona?
You don't need to be a
Residency.
citizen.
You don't have to be a citizen.
Yes, you don't have to be a citizen. That is correct. But you do have to go and be a registered non-citizen. Is that correct?
No.
Even if it shows up that way, they're allowing them to vote. They asked Vlad's relative moving here from Russia if he was planning on voting Democrat. And he says no, and then that's when they shut the hell up.
Whatever. What I'm saying is
Whatever.
that
Here we go.
For a non-citizen to get an ID in some place like Arizona, they still have to register with that state, right? Or verify themselves with that state, right?
Okay, what does that have to do with the voting process? You're telling me there's... Wait. Let me just dismiss your whole claim. When you vote as a non-citizen, do they check... When you vote, do they check... No, what you're saying is a complete logical fallacy. When you vote, you give them your driver's license. You're telling me they go back to the DMV. You're telling me... No, let me make my point. You made your point. Do they communicate with the DMV and they check to make sure every single person is a citizen? Is that your claim right now? They communicate with the DMV to see if they're registered as a non-citizen. Is that your claim?
I recognize that non-citizens also get driver's license. What I'm saying is
They also get votes.
So what's preventing them from voting?
No, you're not letting me finish my statement.
Go ahead.
I'm saying once a non-citizen gets that ID And if they tried to go and vote in a federal election, would that non-citizen be easily found in that case?
No.
Why
Not only no, but why are they going to turn in their voter base?
Because that's never been asked for from a federal administration.
That's what they're doing now.
I mean, I have proof, quote unquote, anecdotal evidence. Every instance.
Say about states' rights when in reference to a federal.
Oh, we just went over
We
this
went
one.
over this. This is a ridiculous argument. They
Yes.
can federalize the election system if they want.
What?
Congress can step in at any point in time.
They can federalize the election system. It's legal to
Okay,
do.
But Congress is not going to. What I'm telling you
They
is
can.
What does the Constitution currently say about states' rights?
That's what voting on
Would
the
you
Save
like it-
America Act is about.
Would you like us to read you the Constitution
Yes,
like we
and
read
I'm
it?
saying that the Save America Act is not going to pass, sir, and that's the exact
Okay, I want you to concede when I disprove you on this.
It's not only going to disenfranchise the poor folks, but it's going to disenfranchise a lot of Republicans too,
Why is it going to disenfranchise poor folks?
because you actually have to pay to get a what is that? You actually
birth
have to pay
certificate?
I mean, if you
They have to have that for their benefits as well. And they're given one free at
You
birth.
can't get a job, you can't buy a pack of cigarettes, you can't buy a lighter, you can't buy alcohol, and also some states give free IDs, and you literally need ID for anything, including unemployment, including for literally anything.
We're talking about birth certificate.
You don't need a birth certificate to vote in all costs. You don't need a birth certificate to vote under the Save America Act. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, yes you do.
No, you don't. You need a real ID or you need a passport.
No, it might be. It actually might be birth certificate.
Well, take a look, see it.
It's already checked for IDs.
Someone dropped a $2 super chat, by the way, and they said you were never in the Army services. Would you like to respond?
Oh, I'm sorry, what did you say?
He dropped $2 and he said Django was never in the Army services.
That's a lie. I mean, I have photos and whatnot. I'm pretty sure I'm easy to find on my social medias if you actually care enough to find. But
Well, I don't even know your real name. I just call you Django, so how am I going to find you on social media?
I'm easy enough to find.
So what do I look up? Django with the AI beard? Like, what do I look up?
AI beard.
I'm just fucking with you, dude. Huh?
Oh, I'm about to say, do you think my beard is AI? What the fuck?
I'm just fucking with you, dude. Do you remember that was one of the comments last time? That was kind of funny, don't lie.
But,
I'm not trying to crack on you.
Yeah, I don't really.
Okay, I have it right here. I have the Save America Act. I pulled it up in AI because Dusty was telling me I was wrong. You might need a birth certificate. So it says right here, to register to vote under the Save America Act, applicants would be required to provide either proof of citizenship. This generally means either a U.S. passport, a certified birth certificate, or paired with a photo ID or naturalization papers.
See, I'm not good with real ID, and the reason I'm not good with real ID is because green card holding immigrants can get a real ID. That's not just for American citizens. They can get it too if they're here legally. I was for real ID until I found that out.
And also, if you want to go back to the point
But
of...
you have to use a birth
if you
certificate
wanna
to
go
get
back-
real ID too.
If you want to go back to the argument, is your claim that we couldn't federalize the election if we wanted to? Like, is that an actual claim that you're making? Because we've read the Constitution. We're not Democrats.
Yeah, we just went
Yeah,
through.
I
We just
read-
went through
I read
that.
the Constitution also. I understand that at the founding fathers and well, not necessarily, but the way that the Constitution is currently constructed, it's specifically set to where the states have control of their own elections, even on the federal level.
But it
And
could
that's
be
specifically
federalized,
set that
correct?
way. And it's specifically set that way so the president couldn't make himself a king.
Well, that's not why it's set, because but that's a whole other argument. But that doesn't even matter.
If the same person that's getting elected is in control of the election,
Well, they're not. That's not how it's supposed to work. But you don't.
Katie Hobbs was.
Once again, you don't know the Constitution. So could we technically
I'm talking
could
about
Congress
on the federal level, my guy.
could
I'm
the
just making an
Senate
example.
could Congress
Yeah.
could Congress or the Senate or any branches of the government federalize the election? according to the
You
Constitution.
said, wait a second. Repeat yourself. I'm sorry, you broke.
Could we federalize the election either through Congress, Senate, House, whatever you want to say? Could we federalize the
Would you
election?
like me to read that
We
again?
could completely remove elections if we chose to, congressionally. We could do anything congressionally.
I don't believe that's true, but if you want to make that argument, we can read over the
Yeah.
Constitution and.
I mean, if Congress decided to vote on it, we could do all types of things. But
Well, let me make something clear. It's the state's powers. Yes, that is true. Article 1, Section 4. This is known as the Election Clause. It gives states' legislation the primary authority to set times, places, and manner of holding elections. But there is a federal override that in some clauses Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations. So we can make more secure elections via,
Yes.
congressional approval.
As long as the filibuster exists, that is not going to happen congressionally.
As long as the Save America Act gets passed. You don't think it will. I think it does. We're going to be different in our opinions as far as that goes, and only time will tell. But you've been wrong on the rest of your predictions. I mean, I don't want to change the subject, but you have been wrong on other predictions as well. I expect the trend to continue.
Prices have gone.
Oh, I'm not talking about prices. I'm talking about Renee
That wasn't a
Good here, but
prediction.
you were wrong.
Trump has started another war, which I think
The war's 47 years old. It was nothing started. It's been.
So we're considering Ukraine a new war, but we're not considering this a new war.
When did we ever consider
Why?
Ukraine a new war?
Yeah. How are we besides funding a Ukraine, which I am not for, and the only reason Trump is doing it is because it was a concession to a bill he wanted to pass, I believe, the big beautiful bill.
All year last year, well, year before last, talking about no more new wars.
There were options for peace. It doesn't mean
By the way, wait, let me correct him something. It wasn't no new wars. It was no new forever wars. Even if you want to say this is a war, it's not a war. It's not a new war. No, Trump said, look it up. Google search it. Google search it. Google search it. Did Trump say no new wars or no new forever wars? Google search it.
No, he said no more new wars.
I think you hear what you want to hear.
I think you hear what the Democrats tell you to hear.
So wait a second. When whole crowds were chanting this mess.
What whole crowds were chanting this? You act like you were a part of MAGA.
About Ukraine.
It's not a new war either way.
We want to change history now.
Let me ask you a question. How often has Iran attacked America? Do you have any clue?
I haven't seen two-
How often has Iran attacked America on average?
Since New Orleans and Mardi Gras,
On average. I don't give a fuck about Mardi Gras. On average, how many times per year? How many times per year? How many times every couple years? Like how many years do you think between each of Iran's attacks on America on average? If you had to guess.
Attack on America.
Yeah. Killing American citizens either directly or indirectly.
What do you mean by indirectly?
Through proxies.
Through proxies. What proxies?
The multiple terrorist groups they fund?
So you're asking me to count how many times a terrorist group has attacked?
No. How many times has a terrorist group attacked America on behalf of Iran? How often has that happened?
On behalf of Iran, that's doing a lot of work.
So you have no idea how many times Iran has attacked America? What about Iran directly? How many times have they attacked America? Do you have any idea?
Maybe a handful of times over the past year or so.
And how many times do you think they've killed us indirectly through terrorism? Or
over what time span?
over 47 years.
47? Are we really going?
I'll answer the question for you since you don't know any of the answers. But the longest period of time we've ever had of Iran not attacking us was 7 years. It was between the late 90s and early 2002, 2001, around then. So every year, every 3 to 4 or 5 years, they kill us.
Attack America
Huh?
in its process. How many times has Russia attacked any American assets or its allies?
I mean, we can look that up far less in the last 47 years than
Russia?
Iran. Yeah.
47 years.
I said far less comparatively in the last 47 years.
Over 47 years. Are you sure about that?
No, I said I'm comparing it to Iran. I said far less.
You're comparing Cold War era Russia, Soviet Union to Iran.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't even compare Iran to Russia because Russia's a tier 1 country and Iran is a tier 3 shithole country.
But if the point is to attack countries that attack American assets or America by proxy, then we should be attacking Russia.
Well, when has Russia directly attacked us in the last 47 years?
None.
On American soil?
None.
I don't know.
Okay, the answer is none.
But Russia is currently giving Iran
Intel
on American assets.
They don't have any real information on American assets.
That's verified.
And you can't.
Trump
Yeah, okay, whatever. You can't compare Iran and Russia. You can't compare a tier 1 country and a tier 3 shithole country. We've already mentioned that Russia has attacked America 0 times on American soil in the last 47 years.
Iran is a proxy of Russia.
Iran is not a proxy of Russia. No. Does Russia fund Iran?
What?
Obama has funded Iran.
Biden has funded Iran.
Wait a second. What country over the past, since Iran has been sanctioned, what is the major country that Iran has been selling majority of its oil to?
It sold its oil to America, by the way, as well. But you don't want to go there.
I'm not talking about recently. I'm talking about since America has sanctioned its oil. What country?
We've also bought their oil since then. We just buy it from a third party indirectly.
Back door, my guy.
Huh?
Acknowledge this.
Well, considering Iran has like 25% of the global oil reserves, and Trump just lifted sanctions on Iran's oil, I mean, I don't know how this is even.
But what is one of the major countries keeping Iran afloat right now?
Afloat? No one. It's failing in every metric.
Russia. What country has been keeping Iran afloat?
China and Russia. So what are you advocating? You're advocating for us to attack China and Russia and comparing it to Iran.
Yeah, we're funding Ukraine.
Do you hear yourselves right now?
Yes,
You're saying Iran is this proxy of terror. We should be taking them out. But
do you hear yourself? Russia has attacked 0 Americans on American soil. You're completely ignoring the fact that that Russia hasn't killed anybody.
Iran is a proxy of Russia. Everybody
That's
knows.
not what a proxy is. If you mean they're a trade partner, that's a more correct statement, but they're not a proxy. They're not a terrorist proxy, if that's what you're trying to say. They're trade partners.
Russia has been more involved in keeping the terrorist state afloat than any other country on this planet.
No, that's a lie. Would you like to compare numbers of Barack Obama and Biden to Russia and how much money we sent them? We can. I don't think you want to go down that route.
How much money has Iran made since Trump unfroze their oil?
Do you want how much?
Do we want to count that?
Actually, I don't think it's even Iran's oil that's unfrozen. I think it's Russia's,
No,
isn't it?
They unsanctioned Iran's oil. And how much money have they made since?
Not as much as Biden and Obama gave them.
They've made billions.
No, they haven't. You don't know the number. What's the number?
You want to read that or you want me to?
You can read it.
Can I read something, Django?
Go ahead.
The relationship between Iran and Russia is complex and doesn't fit into the traditional definition of a proxy. While Russia benefits significantly from Iran's actions against the U.S., Iran operates as a sovereign state with its own regional agenda rather than a puppet of Moscow. As of March 2026, there is how the relationship is currently viewed. Strategic partners, not proxies.
They're trade partners. It's not a terrorist proxy.
Unlike groups such as Hezbollah or the Houthis, which rely on Iran for funding and direction, Iran is a major regional power. Russia and Iran signed a comprehensive strategic partnership in early 2025, but experts emphasize this is an alliance of convenience, sovereignty. Iran makes its own military decisions based on its axes of resistance, ideology, not because Moscow orders them to. Okay, mutual support. For the first time in history, the relationship is a two-way street. Iran supplied Russia with thousands of Shahed drones for the war in Ukraine, and in return, Russia has provided Iran with advanced S-400 air defense systems, intelligence, and satellite imagery to track U.S. naval movements. So
Yeah, how recent was that?
that was in the past year. And
I mean, how
2025, 2026.
How recent? Yeah, how recent was Russia giving Iran American movements?
They've been doing that for years, and it is a part of a payment. And besides, let's think about this, okay? Wait, Django, this is where me and you gonna fight, okay? I talk, you talk, you talk, I talk. I've been mostly quiet during this debate, okay? So, now you've caused me to have a fucking brain fart.
A trade partner is not a proxy.
Yeah, it's not a proxy. That's just it. They have been paying Iran with intelligence for years. That is nothing new. And let's think about this. Iran has no navy. It now identifies as ocean bottom, and their air force identifies as never was. It's almost like a dog chasing a fire engine at this point. What is the dog going to do with the fire engine when it catches it? But hey, Russia's got a debt to pay. They're still going to give them the intelligence, even though they can't do anything with it.
I think you're misrepresenting.
No, I'm not at all. They're like a toothless dog. They're like a toothless dog that can't even run.
I understand. I gave you an opportunity to get your point across. Now let me get my perspective across, because this is just my perspective. I don't know the actual details of what's going on the ground there, like some of the generals might have, right?
Who would have guessed?
What I'm saying is that my collection of what I'm understanding and what this war is currently about is the Strait of Hormuz. It's all about the Strait of Hormuz right now. And what I'm saying is that Iran has held down the Strait of Hormuz, and it's pretty much coming down to whether or not Trump is willing to send troops into that island where they produce about 70% of their oil, or do their thing with the oil there on that little island. And my thing is if we get to a point where we put boots on the ground, are we still supporting this?
There's going to be boots on the ground. Anybody that thinks there's, let me tell you what, anybody that thinks there's not going to be boots on the ground is naive. I've never once thought or said there's not going to be boots on the ground. There's going to be boots on the ground, and it's going to be there. I'm not going to say like Iraq. This is already not like Iraq or Afghanistan. We took their Ayatollah out on day one. We took Maduro out in his pajamas.
We eliminated Baghdad. We pretty much destroyed Baghdad on day one. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying that they're decimated. And even though we're not taking out their power plants, we're still taking out their missile sites.
We had air supremacy within the first 7 hours of the Iraqi invasion.
Okay.
Yeah, we also had tanks. If you remember correctly, we also had tanks. We had a buttload of tanks in Iraq. Show me the tanks.
We went in ready for a land invasion, true.
Yeah, show me the tanks.
What I'm saying is, in this situation, when it seems like we're kind of reacting than actually following a plan here, and we might actually have to put boots on the ground here, this might end up being an elongated war.
That's your opinion, but I do not believe it's going to be an elongated war. But there is going to be people there to make sure that the Ayatollah doesn't step out of line. That is going to happen.
So if we get to the quadruple digits of American lives in this war, when will we say this was a mistake, like the Iraq war?
You know what? What's the price on one life? Because we've suffered. Because over 47 years, we've suffered way too much from Iran.
I think we should have learned some lessons from the Iraq war. What I'm saying is that, are we saying...
Yeah, don't have war hawks in charge. Don't have elected officials that have something to gain from being invested in the manufacturing of these weapons.
And I'm making a plea with you. I'm saying this looks a lot like deja vu. I'm saying that this situation right now. I'm saying
Bush ain't, or Trump ain't Bush, and JD ain't Cheney.
That the Iraq War was a good thing.
We didn't. No. I think we should have went into Korea instead. To be honest with you.
So is the Iraq War was it a good thing?
No, it wasn't. But these are not two comparable situations. We've actually got satellite images that are available to us that they are even actively, or was actively, trying to dig their uranium munitions out of the ground.
There wasn't any uranium munitions. It was enriched uranium for
Yes, and once they get to 60-70%, it's a downhill run. It gets faster and faster to enrich that stuff.
Wait a second.
They were weeks.
Iran has been enriching uranium for the past 40 years. Israel has been telling people that Iran has been a week away from a nuclear weapon for the past 50 years. This is not nothing.
It's not even about nukes.
This is nothing new.
It's not even about nukes. They were also trying to purchase ballistic missiles from China and Russia that could reach America, but you don't want to talk about that.
Why not stop Russia? Why not stop Russia?
Why not stop one of the most powerful military?
Because Iran.
So let me get this straight.
Iran is operating sovereignly on their own.
Let me get this straight. You're advocating for war against one of the largest and most powerful countries in the world? Are you advocating for war against Russia? Because you keep bringing it up over and over again.
No, I'm saying if Donald Trump came out tomorrow and said there's war against Russia, you guys would have no problem with it.
Well, that's never going to happen. And if it does, it depends on the circumstances, obviously. I'm not going to say yes or no.
You guys would not have any problem with it.
Doesn't it depend on the circumstances? Are you always against war, or are you just against war when
Let's say Russia drops a nuke on U.S. soil. Are you going to be against war in Russia?
You guys might as well be jellyfish. You have no backbone.
You have no backbone. You support the war in Ukraine. You support Palestine. So you're obviously not anti-war. You're not anti-war.
My backbone ain't in question here.
So please tell me, why do you support the war in Palestine? Why
Don't attack the man, attack the politics. Stop being a bitch.
Why do you support the war in Ukraine and not... Why? Answer the question.
Let me tell you what. You look at me and call me a spineless jellyfish?
Calm down. Don't say nothing crazy. Don't say nothing crazy.
Trump wherever he goes.
You need to go to the farms.
You literally have a dildo up your ass. Listen to me for a second. Why the fuck do you support? Why do you support a war in Ukraine, but you don't support Iran? You support Palestine taking over Israel, but you don't support Iran. You support Ukraine taking their land back from Russia with our military, with our power, but you don't support Iran. Why?
Wait a second. Is Ukraine a sovereign nation or is it not?
What do you mean by that?
Is it a sovereign nation or no?
So that means we should fund the attack and we should put our troops there and we should give them money.
When you said Russia is taking its land back from Ukraine,
No, I said Ukraine taking its land back from Russia.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure you wasn't being paid or something.
Which was anyway Russia's 38 years ago, but you don't really care about that anyway.
There was an agreement between Russia and Ukraine.
And there is an agreement between Russia, NATO, and Clinton, I believe.
The Soviet Union. And there was an agreement between the new Russia and Ukraine, the old Soviet Union, Ukraine, that said that if they sent those nukes back to Russia, that Ukraine would have its sovereignty.
Since you know so much about the history, who was president before Putin in Russia?
It was fucking the weak guy, Gorbachev.
Okay, good answer.
The guy after Gorbachev, what was his name?
I'll actually accept that there was a president. If I'm not mistaken, there was a president between Gorbachev and.
Anyway, do you know the agreement they made between with Clinton and NATO?
That was not on paper, and that was not any agreement that included Ukraine.
So we can't be men of our words.
Well, yeah, it included NATO. It really didn't have anything to do with NATO.
But what stands more grounds? The agreement between the leadership that was in Ukraine and Russia, or some words that was being said between NATO and fucking...
I would argue both stand ground. Both treaties were violated.
No, that's
yes.
not the case.
Yes, it
And
is.
we all know. And we
You
all
literally
know
just
that
said it
this
happened. You
situation-
said there was an agreement
How
between
long has
Clinton
Ukraine been a sovereign nation?
about 37 years, I believe, 36 years.
Okay. Do you understand that there are other countries that are just as young as Ukraine? Should France try and take Ghana back?
I mean, if they can do whatever they want, it's not our job to intervene unless, unless they're threatening us.
Oh, well. Okay. But I'm just getting out.
I mean, what about Kosovo?
Huh?
What about Kosovo?
What about Kosovo?
They're a recently new country around the same age as Ukraine.
Okay, but that land had to come from somewhere, right? I don't think the old owners of that land should come back and try to take it from that country. It's not how things are supposed to work in a civilized.
So you're not supposed to colonize and conquer like we built the United States? Is that what you're telling me?
So you think Russia is trying to colonize and conquer Ukraine?
That's unrelated.
And you think that's okay?
That's pivoting. I'm asking you a question. Do you think colonizing and conquering other countries like we did to make our country great is bad?
Yes.
So you think that we should have never taken Texas, we should have never taken all the other states we should have never came to America, and you should have just been born in Africa? Is that what you think?
Yeah.
So you're saying you should have been born in Africa in a mud hut somewhere?
I think if
Possibly.
European state I think if European and a lot of those European kingdoms stayed or where they was at, a lot of the world would be a better place.
Actually, I would argue that since you guys are 14% of the population and 56% of the crime, that you guys should have just stayed over there in your country. And that we literally created everything in the fucking world. We created all the infrastructure. We created democracy.
Okay. Well, let me bring up my follow-up to that. Do you understand what percentage of black people bring up the exonerations in this country?
How is exonerations of what? You mean criminal exonerations?
Yes.
If you look at the conviction rate and the exoneration rate, you guys still have a significantly higher crime rate than white people in any other race in the country.
That 70% is not even.
No, it's actually pretty accurate.
When you look at exonerations, you're looking at arrests.
It doesn't matter how you look at it. Black people commit most of the violent crime in the United States. There's no other articles that are going to say differently.
Actual convictions. You're looking at arrests.
No, I'm looking at convictions. I mean, I can. You want me to?
Show me
Okay.
conviction numbers.
Okay, let's look at conviction numbers. We'll look at conviction numbers. We'll look at violent crime convictions versus white.
And it's not. I'm tired of this black and white.
You're the one that told us that we
win here.
shouldn't have created the world you live in. You literally told me us white people should have never created the world that you live in.
No, you asked me that question.
Yeah, and you said you should be living in Africa. If you should be living in Africa, why don't you just go move there? We'll send you a ticket. Me and Dustley will send you over there.
Let me say something to the incarceration, okay? Regardless of black and white, 70% of incarcerated people were raised in poverty.
Okay. And white people are more in poverty than black people in the United States of America. There's more.
So did they do it
there's
for
more
free
poor
meal?
white people than there's black people. So what's your excuse now? Go ahead.
What's my excuse for what?
That you guys are 13% of the population with 56% of the violent crime. We are over 60% of the population, and we do not commit anywhere near 50% of the violent crimes.
But you're not talking about exonerations. You're not clarifying that what you're talking about are arrests and not convictions. And there are also things around that you don't even want to hear.
Like what? You're poor? White people are more poor.
Numbers are more complex than just one statement, and that's what you conservatives fail to realize.
What?
The reality of situations are more complex. I don't know if that gentleman sitting next to you or it was ever in the military, but trying to explain the situation with a number is asinine.
So statistics are asinine.
No. Statistics without context are asinine.
So if I tell you right here, right now, that most homicide convictions are from black people, you're gonna say that I'm right? If I show a statistic?
Repeat that one more time.
Most violent crime convictions are from black people. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. We created the world you live in. If you don't like architecture and democracy, you can move back. Go ahead. There you go.
Jane goes an ass.
You said who created the world that we live in?
White people. You live in a world created by white people.
Half of the stuff that we use wasn't even created by white people. Like,
Okay, you want to go about black inventions?
The White House's damn self wasn't built by white people.
It was literally architecturally designed by white people. You guys just laid the bricks. Boo hoo.
What's the proof that the architecture of?
I mean, you can literally look up the architectural plans. It'll tell you who made it. This is all searchable.
History lies.
Does history lie? Did a black man design the White House, or did he lay the bricks?
Let's see.
Well, I don't have to look it up even, because if black people did it, you guys would brag about it every single day of the week for the next 200 years.
That's not the case.
I mean, you guys lied about creating peanut butter. A black man didn't create peanut butter.
Hold on, the way you're talking, is this how you really feel about black people?
I mean, you literally just told me that my race you literally told me that my white race that created the country you live in, and probably if you didn't live in America, you'd live in another white country, and that you're saying that we're at fault, that everything would be better if we never created everything. That's literally what you told me. Is that not what you told me? If everything would be better, then why are there still Africans living in mud huts in 2026 after we gave trillions of dollars to Africa and aid?
You're not aware of African civilizations that predate a lot of the European civilizations?
And are they not shitholes compared to anywhere in Europe?
In what time?
At all times, today.
Do you understand when Europe was going through the Dark Ages, Africans was the ones that was teaching y'all how to wipe your asses and shit?
Africans literally don't even wipe their ass today.
They build their huts out of it.
So
You know, black people in Africa, they use literal human shit to build huts.
Why is there verified proof that the Moors taught a lot of European societies, even through the Dark Ages? While Europe was going through the Dark Ages, the Middle East was going through a scientific age. This is where they came up with the Arabic numerals and all these different, cosmology symbols and stuff like that. But your fellow
Moors are Middle Eastern. They don't have the same genetic makeup as you.
The entire world is going into a lot of stuff that
Moors are not black. Do you realize that?
Huh?
Moors are not black.
But they are African.
Well, they're in the continent of Africa, but you share zero genetic
They are
similarity.
African, are they not?
Elon Musk is
If you're
African.
talking about nationality, like are they African nationality?
You
Yes.
were talking- you
Are
were
they
talking-
genetically African? No, they are not genetically African. They are Middle
Were
Eastern.
you not just talking crap about Africa?
Yeah, I said black people in Africa. I literally specifically said black people in
Okay,
Africa.
So if I'm talking about African people,
I said black
if I'm
people in
talking about
Africa.
versus European people, and European people needed other people to come in and teach
We
them
didn't
and
need
teach
other
them
people to
about
come in.
things.
Math already existed before the Moors. We already had math before Arabic
The one
numerals.
thing that put white people on the map was the invention of the gun. And the gun wasn't even essentially brought, it was essentially brought from China. The gunpowder was brought from China.
Okay, so congratulations on
Y'all haven't even come up with-
congratulations on complimenting the white man for working with China to build the Silk Road. Thank
You
you.
understand, if the world stayed where it was a situation where it was all about brute and strength and still running around with swords, you guys wouldn't make it.
We did make it. We literally colonized Africa, and you sold us.
And what? No, I'm talking about if you guys didn't have those guns, you wouldn't colonize nothing.
You want to bet on that? You want me to pull up some African history of us colonizing you pre-guns?
And you were also colonized by Syria back more recently.
Okay, we were also colonized by Muslims. What's your point? We took our land back. What's your point?
That's what I'm telling you, is that if without the advent of guns, Europeans would be still in Europe.
Okay, what year were guns created?
If it came down to brawn,
Europe was doing great literally 1,500 years ago. Do you know how old?
you guys-
Do you know how old the civilized
Appalachian
civilization in
Mountains.
England
in the
is?
Caucasus Mountains.
What? What are you talking about now? What?
In the Caucasus Mountains, you guys would still be in the Caucasus Mountains.
We
if it
didn't
came
come
down
from
to
the
brawn
fucking Caucasus
and
Mountains. Are
military
you dumb?
strategy straight up.
Are you dumb? We didn't come from the Caucasus Mountains.
The Caucasian Mountains.
It's not called the Caucasian Mountains. I've actually been there before. I've literally been there before. It's not called the Caucasian Mountains, okay? It's called the Caucasus Mountains. The word Caucasian comes from the word Caucasus Mountains. But you don't know the first fucking thing about that.
My bad. I'm bad. Had to get my door dashed. But what you say?
The word Caucasian comes from the Caucasus Mountains. It's not called the Caucasian Mountains. I've been to the Caucasus Mountains
I
before.
said the Caucasus Mountains.
You said Caucasian.
You said the Caucasian Mountains about 3 or 4
I said
times.
Caucasus Mountains at first. I
Well,
said
you said
Appalachian
Caucasian
Caucasus
Mountains like
I said
a couple
Appalachian
times.
at first, but I said Caucasus.
Have you ever been to another country?
Yes, I have.
Where? Mexico? Oh, I'm guessing I guessed that one right.
Well, the only country I've ever been to outside of this is Canada.
Okay, so you've only been to white countries, but you're preaching that the white man destroyed the world. Why haven't you been to any African countries? Why haven't you been back to your homeland? I've been back to my homeland. Is it because your homeland's a shithole, or you don't like the people there, or you like white culture and white people better?
I've been focused on the place where I live.
So you don't care about your culture, even though you say white people ruin the country.
I do care about how many people celebrate St. Patrick's Day but never been to Ireland?
I mean, St. Patrick's Day is a national holiday, and not all people even celebrate
I'm
it.
just saying, how many people celebrate their Irish heritage but never been to Ireland?
Well, they should go to Ireland.
I mean, they probably should and probably want to, but they haven't. You can't.
My guess is you don't even likely know where you're from, so I don't know.
What?
You likely don't even know which African country you're from.
Okay, is that supposed to be a flex?
Yeah, it is a flex. Don't black people preach that we should go back to the motherland in Africa and, white man's the devil and our African culture and our African roots are so important. Now you're saying they're not important at all, even though the white man's the devil?
But so you're bragging about the fact that when...
No, I'm saying if your culture is so impactful and so important to you, why don't you go visit it and check it out?
Let's clarify what you're bragging about here. You're bragging about the fact that we were brought over here and ripped of our heritage when we were brought over here as slaves. And
No, it's not.
that fact, right?
No, the reason you don't know your heritage because you probably don't know one of your father or your grandfather, or you don't have any real connections in your family, or you just never took a DNA test.
You know the reason why most black people don't know what African country they come from. You know this, and you're backtracking now. Say what you want to say and say it with your chest, bro.
Well, I am saying it with my chest, and you can find out what country you're from. It's not that hard. Thank you. Huh?
Say it with your chest. Brag about it.
I am bragging about it. I'm white. I like my culture. I know what countries my family's from. I've been to those countries before. I like the culture there. I like what white men created. And I'm not here to discredit the black man. I don't want you to take it in a racist manner. I know you're going to take it, but I already think you're racist towards white people. You've already made several comments that are racist against white men. I never bring up the skin color thing unless someone else brings it up. And the fact that you started hating on the white man is kind of disgusting to me. Huh?
You're too weak to say what you really want to say. It's all good, bro.
You hate white people. Can you just say you hate white people?
Say it with your chest.
I never said that.
You hate white society. Just say you hate white society then. Say you hate white society and white culture, even though you refuse to live anywhere else.
I never said that either.
Well, then what do you hate about white people? What did we do that was so wrong?
You're putting the word hate on me.
What do you dislike about white people? If you want to use the word dislike, it's fine. What do you dislike about white people?
I'm critical of the colonization process. If we were the colonizers, I would be critical of it.
So you're telling me African people never colonized anywhere?
I live in America. So I'm talking about the American colonization project.
Okay, so you don't like the fact that we made our country great. Okay, then if you hate it, so if you dislike it, why don't you leave?
Wait a second, me being critical of my country means I should leave?
You said that what we did was wrong. Yeah, inherently you should. If you think what we did was wrong, you should leave.
So me being critical of my country, so there's no more free speech, there's no more.
I never said that. Nope, you
around.
still have your constitutional rights, but
No, I mean that's what you're insinuating when you say stuff like that.
I mean, we can end this
You
debate really
say that
quickly.
You shouldn't be critical of your country, so just leave.
we can end this debate really quickly. So let's start with this. So you're saying what we did was wrong. Why has it resulted in a wait?
IQ was very low, bro.
No, here we go with the insults again. I'm not even going to insult you because I just want to attack you with facts. I just want to attack you with facts. I don't care about talking about your IQ or your looks or whatever. I could care less. So if Africa is so much greater from the results of not colonizing other countries and colonizing,
Africa is greater by any parameter, bro.
okay, so then you admit that colonization has made us better than Africa. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what colonization is. It's taking resources from other places and
Implementing them and
back
using
to
them.
your place.
Well, most of our resources that we're taking advantage of now is.
by nature,
You know how much resources we have in our country? We didn't take Africans. Your Africans sold them to us. We did not take any resources from Africa. You sold us resources for guns.
You took people from Africa.
You gave us people. We didn't take them. You literally shoved them on our boat and said, "Give us guns."
Oh my freaking God. This
Would have slavery have happened if it wasn't for the African slave trade of their own people? And by the way, the funny thing is, the most people that actually sold African slaves were Africans. But you want to know who sold more Africans than actual black people? The Muslim people that you're praising for inventing Arabic numerals. Those are the people that sold more Africans than even Africans, and even more than white people. Literally Muslims, literally people in the Middle East have sold more black people than both black and white people.
Your history, your understanding of history.
Then tell me what I'm missing.
Do you think Muslims came up with the Arabic numerals?
Well, that's what you said. I said that's what you said.
Islam wasn't even around when the Arabic numerals.
So what year did the Arabic numerals come around?
This was during the Persian Empire.
What year is that? I mean, that might be true.
Persians aren't Moors. They're not even Arabs. Persians aren't
Persians
Arabs.
are not Arabs, and they're not from North Africa.
Persians are Persians.
Time on my side, he's a 37% black man. 37% black man
But
says.
the Persian Empire eclipsed even Arabic areas. Do you understand this?
Yeah, it eclipsed most of the world, but okay. He won't take a DNA test because he knows he has white in his background. Is that true? Would you be ashamed if you had white in your background?
No. I'm fully aware that there was a lot going on those plantations.
On those plantations. Are you aware that Africans sold Africans to white people and that's probably why they got pregnant?
This is beyond the point.
Once again, why do you blame white people for slavery? Your own people sold you. I agree slavery was wrong first off, we didn't start slavery, but we ended slavery. So, I don't know what to tell you. Why didn't slaves move back? They got the option, maybe because they don't want to go back to mud huts and running from lions and violence between their own races.
What you say?
Why didn't Africans go back to Africa? They had the option, but they didn't want to go back because there was too much infighting between African tribes and running from lions and tigers.
Africans did not have the option. Do you think they offered to send all the slaves back?
When they were freed, they could just go back.
With what money?
With what money? You don't need that much money, just go back. White people travel the world with no money, just a ship. A boat. We came with a boat. We brought y'all with a boat. You can go back with a boat.
You're asking 4 million people.
You know, even with guns.
That wasn't even considered a human being yesterday.
Even
today.
Well, who dehumanized you and decided other Africans aren't considered
Even
human?
with guns, you got men on a boat that went to Africa. Automatically, the numbers are against them. No, somebody wanted the guns on that boat, and so they traded. If they wanted to fight, the people on the boats wouldn't have made it.
Someone says,
regardless of the guns.
Someone says, what about segregation? We started that Jim Crow. Well, you spelled Jim Crow wrong, but I already condemned that. I already condemned all the segregation and all the stuff that happened that was bad, but who started it?
Who started Jim Crow?
Who started the whole racism between black people and white people? That was literally black people.
Wait a second. Do you think black people started being racist again? What?
Yeah, black people. Black people literally taught us slavery. They said these people are not human. They're from other African tribes that we don't align with. They're pieces of manual labor.
Let's be clear here. The slavery that was going on in Africa was nothing compared to chattel slavery here in America.
Are you kidding me?
They are not comparable.
You're right. Africa is much more beautiful.
You think those chiefs selling their own blood into slavery cared how they were going to be treated across the waters?
You can look this up. You can look up slavery in Africa compared to chattel slavery in Southern America.
But they didn't care.
These are verified things that you can look up yourself, and you can tell that the slavery that was in Africa, there was an opportunity to become a free person, or go about your own way, or be killed because you were a slave of war, or chattel slavery, which is something inherently different. Can we agree to that?
Yeah, sure, but can we agree sending Africans like 7,000 miles away, if not further, is worse than being whipped? Selling your own race and sending them 10,000 miles away, knowing that they will be likely tortured and murdered, is worse than, the slavery that went on in America when we literally just got slaves from you guys.
Do you understand that at some point slavery became an industry?
Yeah, it was when the Moors.
Slavery's always been an industry.
Slavery became a hot commodity.
And who created that?
Especially when it became part of the ports of Africa, right?
So let me get this right. You take zero responsibility for what the Africans in Africa did, but I'm supposed to take 100% responsibility.
Wait a second. Are we considering the Africans in Africa as a monolith, or are we looking at just the Igbo tribe or the different tribes that colluded with the Europeans to do these things?
I don't really care. There was multiple tribes.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
if you want to talk about a specific tribe, you can blame it on them.
You don't care about the details now.
Okay, so am I gonna blame Englishmen, or do we blame all white people? Do you want to go down that stupid ass rabbit hole? Are we supposed to only blame white English people, and are we only supposed to blame one tribe of Africa?
No, when I talk about issues between black and white people, I'm specifically talking about black and white people in America. I don't talk about black and white people in Great Britain.
So now you don't care about the details.
So now you don't care about the details.
I talk about the black and white issues here in America. I don't talk about Canada or any other place. So when I speak about these issues, I'm talking about the American system here.
Okay, and you just mentioned a tribe in Africa, so I mentioned what group of white people enslaved you.
Slavery and colonization.
Well, you're the one that started the conversation by saying you regret everything the white man has ever created, basically.
Because you asked me a question and I answered it.
Well, yeah. This is just a debate.
You started it.
Now, I asked you a question, but you didn't have to demonize the white man and at the same time play the victim card.
Question, sir. Your IQ is showing.
By the way, what group of people was responsible for? I just Googled it because I was genuinely curious. But do you know who transported the most African people during the Atlantic slave trade?
I should, yeah.
What do you say?
What group of people transported the most people in the Atlantic slave trade?
I think it was Brazil.
Okay, I'll give you credit. You do know a thing or two. So, but yeah, it wasn't even the white man. Brazilians aren't really white.
Like I said before, I live in America. If I lived in Brazil, I would be speaking on those things.
Okay, there's Brazilians, there's white people in America, and you blame the white people. But there's also Brazilians. There's also Brazilians in America. There's also Brazilians in America.
Who was in control of Brazil during that slave trade process?
Well, who sold them? Portugal, obviously, but who sold them?
Exactly. So, if I want to speak about...
Okay, and who is in charge of trading the slaves to...
If I had an issue with Brazil being white...
Portuguese people aren't white either, by the way. They're Hispanic European.
Who would I be accusing here?
Huh?
Would I be accusing Brazil or Portugal?
Both. Both?
Okay, then. I live in America. I don't live in either.
Okay, so why are you blaming why are you blaming white people in America for what Europeans did with that logic?
Because you gave me a generalization when you said colonization. Now, if you want to talk about specifically America, we can.
Okay, do you blame white people in America for slavery?
Do I blame white people in America for chattel slavery?
Yes, in 2026, when none of them are alive.
Yes, chattel slavery was a decision, was it not?
Was it made by Americans?
Chattel slavery?
Was
Yes,
it?
that was a very specific, special kind of slavery, only seen in America.
And who was it made by? What group of people from where?
It depends on. At that point in time, it was different kinds of people from European countries immigrating to America. So it depends on what country you originated from.
Okay, so why are you generalizing it and blaming it on all white people? I'm still confused on that part.
Because it was white people, like.
Okay, so why can't I blame it on the Brazilians
On the average,
or the Africans that did 99% of the work?
Wait a second. Let's be honest here.
Blame it on us because we're here now.
On average, the slave owner was usually a person of European descent, right?
From what countries?
That's why I said European descent. On average.
On average, all the African slaves were sold by Africa. By Africans.
In America was of European descent. Am I right?
Would you say
Can
that?
we agree that there were two people at fault here? There's the seller and the buyer.
By the way, it's not pronounced chattel, it's pronounced chateau, or chattel, like cattle. Or, I think I'm saying that right. How do you say it?
Yeah, chattel.
No, it's not pronounced chattel, it's pronounced cattle. Cattle, I think, I believe. Like cattle. But, okay.
I don't care about us, but I'm just saying that.
Well, that's a
we
stereotype.
have our own special thing going over here.
Well, that's a stereotype.
And even after slavery, it was still issues, and still is issues going on even to this day.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with
Ooh,
you.
Tom got a good one.
What did you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it. Good, Django. You all were slaves at best 400 years. Whites and Europeans, 14 years.
1400
You either owe
years.
us
1400
1,000 years or we can call it even.
White people were enslaved by Africans for 1,400 years. You guys were enslaved for, at best, 400
sure
years.
there's still
Where's my
slaves in
reparations?
Africa.
1,400 years was enslaved by Africans by what country? Who enslaved white people?
Well, I mean, if we can really,
Muslims, I believe.
Yeah,
would be
Muslims-
one.
Muslims.
What was it? Organized form of slavery? Like
Yes.
they were enslaving just all
Yes.
white people and all
yes,
white
Jewish people or were white and they were
Wait a
enslaved.
second. Let's make real comparisons here. Was under that system were all white people deemed not human beings?
White people? No. What are you talking about? Here's a fun part about the Atlantic.
When y'all were considered slaves, were y'all considered not human beings also?
Yeah,
Yep.
we were whipped and we were beaten.
No, I need to know under what system y'all were slaves.
I mean, I can give you a whole bunch. We've been enslaved in multiple countries.
Can y'all pull that up?
I mean, one's Egypt. You want a whole list of different countries?
In Egypt, slaves were considered human beings. You could not you could not treat a slave as if it wasn't a human being in Egypt.
Are you kidding me?
Egypt.
Tell that to the slave.
I mean, forcing someone to do labor by definition with no pay is not treating someone like they're human. So I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. But here's the funny part about the. So where did most of the slaves go? Where did most of the slaves go? What was the percentage of the slaves being sent? Where did most of the slaves from the Atlantic slave trade go?
We already went over this.
No, we
Brazil.
didn't.
We got 4%.
Brazil.
So how much percentage of slaveries did we actually receive? Why aren't you also the Caribbean?
Yes, and I live in America, so I'm talking about the part that America had in it. I'm talking about the history that.
You realize only 300,000 Africans were brought to this country?
I'm talking about the history.
And there was 5 million brought to the Caribbean and 5 million brought to Brazil? And once again, they weren't brought by white people. They were brought by Hispanic people.
Are you not hearing me when I say the reason why I'm not bringing up Brazil or Canada?
Because you
or
keep saying
Portugal
that
or-
it's all in America, but it's not. It's Africa, it's Europe. You keep saying Africa and Europe.
If I was a descendant of slavery in Brazil, if I was a descendant of slavery somewhere in the Caribbean,
You might be. You have no idea. You don't know your background of your family. So you might be. You don't know.
Wait a second. Wait. Do you think I don't know who my dad and my grandfather and my great grandfather?
Okay, where did they come from? Tell us the slave story. Tell us how you're related to slaves. Let's hear it.
Why would I treat some racist dude with
Racist? You literally make
See,
so
there we
many
go.
comments.
This is what brings it out.
Victim. Are we gonna sit here today and act like black people are not racist against white people?
Hooping and hollering snowflakes all over one word. Okay, calm down.
I mean, you're the one that was raising your voice.
Don't
But,
start
okay.
acting like some snowflakes. But what I'm saying is that. Wait a second. Do you not understand? My grandfather is still alive. He went through some of the Jim Crow era. He's still alive.
Oh, okay.
Like, these things are knowable for me to understand and easy for me to understand from the person that experienced it, especially here in Mississippi.
Okay, and my great grandparents were dragged into World War II because of Nazis, and that's easy for me to understand. What do you want me to say?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that
No, you can't. That's not even comparison.
No.
I already condemned.
No,
I already
this is a
condemned
perfect
segregation.
example. So you would be a little bit more familiar with your grandfather's experience in World War II.
Not really. No, not really. Anecdotal evidence is not a good debate tool, but it's a nice story, I guess.
Wait a second. Answer the question.
I would say no.
You're hearing World War II stories from your grandfather. I'm sure as you're.
But if I watch a history video of World War II, do I not learn more about it than from my grandpa?
Yes, but you also take into account your grandfather's experiences also. Yes, if you want to know more, of course, read a history book, do your research, all that stuff. But what I'm saying is those experiences that your grandfather put into you from a child is also a part of that experience, right?
Not really. I don't cry victim and say one person is the oppressor. Why were there more? Why was my family more enslaved than your family? Why does my family background come from a worse family background than yours, but I don't scream victim?
Worse family background.
I mean, do you want to compare my family background to yours? My family was not only enslaved longer than yours, my family escaped a civil war in a country where all their money was taken from them. They were enslaved for thousands of years.
How was your family enslaved?
Some of my family members, were enslaved in Egypt.
Are you serious right now?
Yes, I'm serious. My family was enslaved for thousands of years. I'm 100% serious. Did your family flee to a
I think we just clarified that there are different levels of slavery.
Tell that to slave.
Yeah, you're right.
There's indentured.
It's not just Jewish people; it's all kinds of white people that were enslaved.
There's indentured servitude. Do we understand the difference between indentured servitude and chattel slavery?
Okay. You keep saying Egyptians were treating so well, and they were enslaved. That's why.
But by your definition, indentured servants would be considered slaves.
Absolutely, because many of them wasn't even given a choice.
Okay, but they still had the opportunity to earn their freedom, right?
No, they didn't survive.
No, that's
They
the
didn't
point of
survive.
servitude.
Sure.
but that's
Okay.
the point of indentured
Look. You
servitude.
can get your freedom if you can outrun the dogs and the shotguns.
That's not what indentured servitude was. If you killed an
Well, it's a little faster. What I said was a little faster, a little up to the point, but it nonetheless not relevant.
Indentured servant, you could be charged for that.
Fun fact: the Barbary slave trade during the exact same time. By the way, we enslaved you. Black people enslaved more white people during the same specific time. The Barbary slave trade. I'm sure you're familiar with the Barbary pirates. Historically, Robert Davis estimates 1 million to 1.25 million white European Christians were enslaved in North Africa between 1530 and 1780. None of us are screaming about reparations. None of us are screaming about anything. So that's about 7 times as much of us were enslaved in Africa during the same fucking time as you, and we immigrated to America.
Round up the aircraft carriers. We're going to Africa next.
Round up the fucking aircraft carriers. Send those bombs in.
Do you not
It's time to bomb the shit out of them.
do you not understand the difference?
I gotta go pee. That pisses me off.
The whole country getting involved in pirates doing
It wasn't the entire country. You realize colonizers, we didn't even have the entire country of America when you're talking about, we didn't even have all 50 states.
the entire country of America as it stood at that point in time.
Okay, and the entire country of Africa, which was never really an organized country, really well that organized. That's why it failed so much.
To say that Algier, Tunisia, or Tripoli were all a part of those pirates involved in the slave trade is false.
And all white people during that time period were not involved in that slave trade. What are you talking about?
Nobody legalized those pirates doing those things.
They don't have fucking laws in Africa, even to this day. In some African countries, they don't have very many laws, if any.
And even
Somalia has no laws. They are an anarchist state. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking
I'm not
about.
talking about Somalia. I'm talking about most African countries have laws. You can't
Yeah,
say
500 years later.
Do you understand that you don't really know anything about Africa, do you?
You don't really know anything about Europe, and apparently you don't know anything about Africa because you've never been there. So
Have you been to Africa?
no, I'm not black. Why would I want to go to Africa? What is there in Africa?
People go to Africa all the time.
Like maniacs.
Maniacs, really.
I mean, most white people don't go to Africa.
Dude, like, you are next level, like...
Django doesn't even know American history. Why would he know African history? Let's see, how many African countries?
Look, you're the one that started talking about this African mess and how you feel about Africa after I said that colonization as a whole is a bad thing. I don't care if it's black
It wasn't a
people,
bad
white
thing.
people,
If
Asian
it wasn't for
people.
colonization, you would still be living in Africa. So if you don't like the result of colonization, you can reverse it.
No, I'm saying that colonization as a whole is a bad thing.
Why?
I'm not just saying just one race or any, I'm talking about as a whole. I don't care if Asian people are doing it, if white people, if Mexicans are doing it. I don't care. Colonization is a bad thing in its nature.
Well, Africans have colonized throughout history, but you have to go back a long,
Yes,
long
and I
way.
would agree that it's a bad thing.
Well, I think they should have done more of it. You glaze Elon Musk, but no white people live there? I didn't say no white people live there. I said white people don't travel there very frequently.
Consistent thought process looks like. I know you don't really understand.
What consistent thought process? You just keep demonizing white people. Not once have you made any comments about any wrongdoings of black people. You won't even though I concede the fact that what white people did during segregation was wrong, you won't say what black people did of selling other black people was wrong. Will you say that's wrong? Will you say it was wrong for black people and North Africans to enslave white people and to sell black people?
Yes.
You say that's wrong.
But
You say,
that's
will you
why
point
I
out the fact that this slave trade would have never happened if it wasn't for Africa?
If it wasn't for Africa, no, that's not. That's what I'm saying. That's what the slave trade would have never happened if it wasn't for Africa. They would have found someplace else to get the slave trade going from.
Well, it wouldn't have happened in Africa, so thanks for proving my point.
But it would still it would have still happened.
In another country, not in Africa, maybe another country.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're just missing something logically here, or
So,
if you're just
I think you're missing something. If your people didn't sell your people to our country, then they wouldn't have came here. So, shouldn't you blame you just said it was all their fault, so shouldn't you blame the
No, I
Africans?
didn't say it was all their fault. if I'm a teenager and I walk into a store to buy alcohol,
These weren't teenagers. These were grown men.
no, I'm just saying, this is a liability thing. If I'm a teenager, I walk into a store to buy alcohol, and I go out and crash drunk driving, whose fault is it?
Did we come to Africa because we were because we wanted to steal your slaves, or did we
I
come
guess.
Go ahead.
Who's the manufacturer of the car that they crash?
Shouldn't matter.
I need a manufacturer. Give me one.
Tesla.
Biggest payout possible. They're gonna go after Tesla. They're gonna go after Elon Musk.
Okay. But my whole point is that it can be more than one person's fault here. And
If Africa didn't sell, wait, let's go back. Let's go back to your question. I like that. That was a good analogy, actually.
Well, wait a second. You fail to realize two things. The entirety of the continent of Africa wasn't for slavery. It was those specific tribes that benefited off the sale of other Africans that was for slavery, and they had control of the guns.
And all of Americans weren't for slavery either.
So they had most of the power in that region.
You can say the same thing about America. Most of America wasn't for slavery. But let's go back to your analogy. I like that.
That's not the case.
I like that analogy, actually. Can we go back to it? So you
That's
said
so
if he sells him liquor.
When was most of America not for slavery?
Most of Africa was for slavery.
No, I'm saying when was most of America not for slavery?
Now?
No, I'm talking about during the slave trade.
You asked when. He said now.
While slavery was legal. I'm not talking about the last.
Can I ever acknowledge your analogy or not? Because you said if a kid goes in and buys the liquor and crashes his car, whose fault is it? It's the person who sold it to them. Just like it's Africa's fault. If they didn't sell, there would be no market. Just like if they didn't sell alcohol to minor children, there would be no market. So that's a perfect analogy.
Seller's fault.
It's seller's fault. Yes, it is.
Ooh. Damn.
But do you understand that drunk kid going out there and wrecking into somebody's car and killing someone else? That kid is also liable to.
Oh yeah, he's legally
But
liable.
it wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been drunk driving and the liquor store owner didn't sell him liquor.
But that kid is also liable for his decision to get in a car while drunk.
But who actually enabled it? Who
made it possible?
Who made it possible?
Okay, but if that kid goes on to kill someone else in a drunk driving accident, that kid is also liable for their life. You understand that? Yes.
Who's the owner of the car? Who's the owner of the car?
To the seller.
Who's the owner of the car?
The kid is 18. He's the owner of the car.
You said he was 15 originally, but okay, we can skip to 18.
I said a teenager, but I said teenager because we all know teenagers can't buy alcohol. That's the only reason I said that. But yeah.
By the way, Nigeria has 1.6 million people in slavery today. Why don't you go and save them and give them reparations, Django?
Because I live in America, and I'm talking about working on things here in my country.
So what do we need to work on? We don't have red line laws. We don't have any of that
There's
racist
no
shit.
slavery going on
There's no slavery going on where?
In America.
in America.
Yep. So, I mean, unless
Problem solved. And
unless
hey,
you wanna-
win for you. You didn't experience it either.
Unless you want to count sex slaves in that whole Epstein situation, but I guess that's a whole other.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Pivoting. Every time a Democrat starts to lose a debate, Epstein. It's the only thing y'all got left.
We can go back to the original argument. Y'all got.
Hey, what about Diddy? What about Diddy?
Diddy had sex slaves. He was black. Another black slave owner. Fantastic.
There is no proof that he had any type of sex slaves. Even his own escort said that they came willingly.
Yeah, right. He was in a nut house because nobody believed him.
Did you watch?
And then Diddy's ex-wife or wife come out and said that crazy man's telling the truth.
Did you watch the court hearing?
If there was no evidence, then why did he spend why did he spend multiple years in prison if there was no evidence?
For abuse, because he abused Cassie, and that was horrible.
I don't think he got charged
He
for
didn't
that.
get charged for that.
Yeah, he never got
That
charged.
didn't stick.
Yeah, he literally didn't get charged for that. So you're claiming he abused Cassie, which he wasn't convicted of.
We saw him.
Sorry?
What was his official charges?
I believe trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah, I believe trafficking of prostitution.
Yes, that's when you pay for a prostitute across state lines. That's what he got charged for.
I'm pretty sure trafficking is you moved them.
Yeah, moving them across state lines, yeah.
Okay, so what?
Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with Cassie.
Nothing in this case says that he paid them. All it says is that he trafficked women.
That's not sex slavery.
How do you know? How do you know if they got paid or not? What if some of them didn't get paid? Is that sex slavery then?
Because
Regardless of money, the guy didn't have a
I
choice.
think two of the people that the prosecution said were trafficked actually testified that they willingly went, but Diddy still committed the crime.
Oh my gosh.
Like, the people were in the court hearing. They testified. The prosecution was there.
So by your so if we're just going by criminal cases,
Nobody was forced to do anything. Even Cassie, the only person in that court hearing that said that she was forced to do some things, even some of the other prostitutes said Cassie called them.
you know what's a little bit ironic? You're saying that Diddy only got charged with sex trafficking. Do you know what Jeffrey Epstein's first charges were? And they said the same thing about him, that he wasn't kid diddling. They said that he was sex trafficking. He got charged with the same crime as P. Diddy back in 2006.
And this is why I think your IQ is low. Do you understand the difference between?
There we go. Personal attack again, Django.
No.
When you lose debate,
You're stupid.
you're fucking stupid.
No, because you don't understand the difference between these two situations. Jeffrey Epstein was caught with a minor.
Back in 2006, no, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Well, Diddy was allegedly caught with minors.
He had got a sweetheart deal and pled to lesser charges. That's that sex trafficking that you said.
That's
But
not
he
what
was actually
happens.
caught red-handed with a minor.
Where's the evidence? What was the minor's name?
Look it up. That's all you have to do. Oh my God.
Either way, you're literally sitting here defending Diddy. It's like,
Oh, now we're backtracking.
No, he's just stating a point.
No, you said that Jeffrey Epstein did the same thing. I'm saying that is not the same thing, my guy. Jeffrey Epstein
it was the same charge. That's the only thing I pointed out, that Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy had the same charge.
That Diddy was caught with.
Well, show me a minor that Epstein was caught with back in 2006.
I'll pull up the article for you. Drop it right in chat for you.
Django proven to be a black supremacist again.
Because you acting like you don't understand the difference between these situations.
Well, let's see what you dropped. Oh, I don't see anything yet. Are you sending it on here or on my other account? It's true?
Hold on.
Okay, he did get caught with kids. I'll admit it. It's true.
That's what I'm saying. He got caught with I think it was.
But that wasn't even my main point. Did Diddy get caught with kids? I don't think Diddy was ever accused with kids, but he was accused of sex slavery. He was accused of sex slavery. No, I know they're two different situations, but they both had the same charges, or they had very, very similar charges.
Because Epstein got a sweetheart deal.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you, and Diddy got a sweetheart deal too.
But Diddy has no minors. That's what I'm saying. Y'all laughing at Diddy, but somehow not laughing at the Epstein situation and this whole situation around Trump.
Once again, here we go to the. Where's the proof of Trump? You said there's no proof of Diddy with children, but where's the proof of Trump?
It's a different grade of truth.
Oh, okay. You don't need proof for Trump, but you need proof for Diddy. Oh, okay. Point proven. Thank you. Thank you very much. Round of applause, everybody. Everyone clap their hands, guys. Come on. Everybody clap their hands. Come on. Clap your hands. Everybody at once. Woo! We finally came to the conclusion. We came to the conclusion that Trump is not a PDF file because Diddy had no evidence of being a PDF file, and neither does Trump. So we agree then. I'm glad.
Not when your name appears over 1,000 times in the Epstein.
Not when your name appears over 1,000. Not when your name appears over 10,000 times on Twitter for being a kid diddler.
On the Epstein's flight logs.
His name wasn't on the Epstein flight logs.
Back to the 1990s.
He never went to Epstein's Island.
But he's been listed on his flight logs
Oh,
and on Epstein's private jet.
Okay, he was renting his jet. Okay, and?
He flew with Epstein,
Okay, and?
with multiple people on that flight.
Okay, so did basically
Oh, okay. Here,
with
wait a
his
minute.
family.
Here.
With his
Here's where
family.
the sex slaves come into play with Diddy. Coercion and drugs. The core of these slave-like allegations involved what Combs called freak-offs. Prosecutors claimed he coerced women and sex workers into performing elaborate days-long sexual acts while he filmed them. Physical abuse. He was accused of physical violence, kidnapping, and drugging victims to keep them compliant, being that they were not, anyways.
Coherent.
Consensual.
Yeah, consensual.
So,
Yeah.
sex slave. The
I
IV fluid, and here's the disgusting part. I'm just going to throw this in there. The IV fluids
consider
detail.
that more of a rape than anything.
Oh, you mean forced yourself? It could still be considered slavery. I mean, there was no.
He only thinks black people can be enslaved. Sorry, only black people. Let me clarify, they were black too. Does that make you feel better?
You don't have freedom of motion, that you can't leave.
They were on drugs and forced to stay
Slaves
there.
had freedom of movement.
Nah.
Yes, they can move around the plantation.
Were they drugged to where they couldn't consent? Did they keep them in a drugged, zombied out?
And that's why I said that's closer to rape to me. But that's my personal opinion.
Well, then I guess the slaves were great.
No,
That was a lot of great for
the
400
slaves-
years.
Slaves didn't have freedom of movement. They couldn't leave off the plantation if they wanted to.
Neither did Diddy's sex slaves.
That's not the case. What chains were put on the sex slaves?
Chains ain't always metal. Sometimes
If
chains can be leverage. Chains can be even, like they said here, drugs.
I'm just saying, who was killed for leaving the freak off?
You know,
You understand the logical fallacy y'all running into right now?
hold on here. You know what? I believe Combs was behind many a deaths, but let's see here.
Yeah, he probably got Tupac. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
I'll go with that one. He was
I believe, you know what? I believe he got Biggie Smalls.
That's a possibility too.
I believe he took his own boy out.
I'm a rational person. From what I've seen, that's
And he's described in Hollywood as a terror.
That's plausible. I'm not saying by any means that Diddy is a good guy. I'm not a Diddy defender or anything like that. I'm just saying what I saw in the court case myself.
So could you see a person's reputation with these things going on as being a chain? To chain someone down out of fear?
Psychologically, I will give you that, but I just don't like after the freak off everybody.
Tracy says chains can be more than just physical.
But you kind of get what I'm saying. Like after the freak off, everybody left and went back home. You get what I'm saying? Like
Not everybody.
Well, yeah, like
The majority of people, I mean, let's face it. I mean, if he kept everybody, that would be one hell of a trick.
But Diddy didn't keep people chained up in his basement indefinitely.
He kept them chained. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, they were fucked up, but like they still went back to their life. Like
So now is the only difference between grape and sex slaves is the fact that whether or not they get to go home at some point?
No, it's the freedom of movement for me. It's like, okay,
You're drugged up. There's not much freedom of movement there.
But what happens once you come off of that high is my question. And that's the question that I'm looking for to make this not a sex slave or grape. Like, once you get your constitution back, once you come out of that fog, what happens?
Well, you've got the reputation of that person still chaining the individual down.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm just saying that's what I think about because I'm a very
Okay.
good guy. I think from a different perspective than most people, so I think on a more logical scale. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that's subjective.
To
me, I think my opinion is more logical.
I guess, but that's what I'm saying. What happens after that person comes off of that high or that drug or whatever they're on? Because I'm pretty sure they don't keep people drugged for months on end or weeks on end or anything like that. And there wasn't any proof.
I don't believe that drugs was the only chain involved. I believe reputation chained people down, kept their mouths shut.
Yeah,
Hell, let me tell you what, I'm disappointed in Bieber and Usher. Because they didn't come out and man up and speak out about it.
Hey, it's funny, I'm back now. It's funny that you literally say that Diddy is innocent because he's never been criminally charged for child rape or anything like that.
I never said Diddy was innocent of anything.
But he's not a kid diddler. He's not a kid diddler? Is that your claim? You're defending?
I just said that Diddy didn't have any sex slaves, in my opinion. But
In your
that's just my
opinion.
opinion.
Okay, well, he has 25 lawsuits against him right now of people literally saying 25 children. Here's a super chat. As of October 2024, lawyers announced that they are filing lawsuits involving allegations from 25 individuals who were minors at the time of alleged sexual assaults by Sean Diddy Combs.
You said when was that?
October 2024. There is 25 lawsuits still ongoing that
October
Diddy
2024.
kid diddled them.
And they're still ongoing.
Are they still ongoing? Yes, I believe so. Is that real talk? No, that's not real talk. That is
It is real talk politics.
oh, it is real talk politics. Sorry.
Yeah, I got
Real
it.
talk politics on YouTube, guys. Go check it out. Even though
Yeah, Real Talk Politics 24, I believe. Somebody took those.
he put 24 to remember the year that
Oh.
Diddy got served
I
by
just
25
fact-checked.
lawsuits for minor children of diddling.
I picked 24 because of Kobe.
I just fact checked that. Yes, there are numerous ongoing civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs that involve allegations of sexual misconduct with minors, while his high-profile criminal trial in 2025 focused largely on adult victims and resulted in an acquittal on most severe sex trafficking charges. The civil legal battle is much broader and is still very active in early 2026, which is current. There's 120. The 120 wave, the most significant group. Okay. Anyways, evidently there's 120 minors, but 25 at the time of the alleged abuse. But still.
So it's okay for Diddy to have 122 minors accusing him of kid diddling, but God forbid that someone puts a random report, someone that has never met Trump, that has no claims of them. The case was dropped by the FBI, and there was actually never even any case. The investigation was dropped, but it's okay if Diddy has 122 active victims, 25 of suing them.
Wait a second. I never said that was okay because I didn't exactly know about those lawsuits.
But Diddy isn't a diddler. You know everything about sex crimes. Diddy was not a diddler. He did nothing to children, and it was all Trump, according to you.
I never claimed to know everything about sex crimes. I just know what I know. And what I'm saying is that I will admit I did not know about those lawsuits, and if those lawsuits are the case, that is not good. And I will also say that accusations being levied against the president is also not good.
But the difference is Trump doesn't have 25 active lawsuits against him by fucking children.
How many lawsuits has Trump had against him?
A shit ton, but probably less than 25, I'm guessing, and less
And
than
they weren't minors.
I'm talking about overall, just
thousands probably.
and it. So
A lawsuit doesn't make you a bad person if that's what you're trying to go to. And Time said I should have a cap on finding all the information people say didn't happen.
Wait a second, I just found this. A group of youth, 22 young plaintiffs, sued the Trump administration, arguing that. Oh, this is for another lawsuit. Never mind. That's for climate rights.
Climate rights. You love climate rights. Climate change is totally real, right? It's definitely getting warmer every single year.
Yes, it is.
Even though we literally just...
I think that's sarcasm.
Is that sarcasm?
No.
Now he's quiet. You think global warming is real?
I think humans do have an effect on the climate, yes.
But do you think global warming is real? Do you think the world is getting a lot hotter and hotter, and Miami's gonna be underwater?
No, I think global warming from the beginning was a bad term. I believe in climate change.
Global warming wasn't a bad thing. It was just disproven. That's why they changed the name.
It was a bad term because it didn't accurately explain things.
Because they didn't have accurate science. It's not because they didn't accurately explain it. It's because all the science they provided was fake.
The outside and the atmosphere doesn't just make things hotter. It affects the climate overall and changes things. This is why the farmers, I don't know, I'm from a southern state, so...
We're literally in Tennessee right now, and I'm from Florida.
I don't know if the older gentleman is aware of something called the Farmer's Almanac, but if you look...
Do you plant by the sun or by the man?
Plant by the sun.
The sign. Do you plant by the signs or by the man?
By the signs.
Then you don't know about the Farmer's Almanac, pal, because there's two ways that you can plant the Farmer's Almanac, and it's by the signs, the moon, or the man. And there's little dates. And usually if you plant the ones that are in the belly of the man, it's a little diagram, that means plentiful. You're going to be full. Yes.
So.
Just saying that you're sitting here making an analogy about me being old in the Farmer's Almanac, and you don't know shit about the Farmer's Almanac.
I'm saying, are you aware of the changes to the Farmer Almanac over the past 50 years?
Here's what I'll say about climate change.
Because
There's always going to be ups and downs. Always. Do we affect it? Sure. Minimally. And let me tell you what, it all ain't about cow farts either.
How do you know it's minimal?
How do you know it's maximum?
That's the question.
I mean, if you actually read the
How do you know it's
research on
significant?
it, if you actually read the research on it,
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the maximum. I'm saying that we are changing the climate, and it's good to study these things and figure out exactly how we're affecting the climate for several reasons, including that we still grow our freaking food.
This is what I would say also. You realize that there's like cities on the bottom of the ocean, right?
Cities on the bottom of the ocean.
Am I wrong? Are there not? Chats, are there cities on the bottom of the ocean? Are there signs of cities on the bottom of the ocean? Hold on here.
Wait a second. You mean through sea level rise, right? You mean on near coastal cities? Where
It could be sea rise, and it could also just be ground collapsing. But there are buildings on the bottom of the ocean. Are there signs of civilization and buildings on the bottom of the ocean?
The bottom of the ocean is doing a lot of work there. Now, is there proof of structures being like a little below sea level, maybe 100 feet, couple hundred feet max? Yes. But is it at the bottom of the ocean that's doing a lot of work, sir?
how deep is the ocean?
The ocean is like several miles deep. It's like you can, before you'll get to the moon before you get to the bottom of the ocean.
Okay, that's true.
It depends about what ocean and what area. And technically, if it's an area of the ocean where it's only a couple hundred feet, it would be at the bottom of the ocean. But okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying most of these structures that we see under sea level are just, formal coastal structures that, due to sea level rise are there.
Okay, but would sea level rise be climate change? Would that be due to climate change?
Not necessarily.
Wow.
Yeah, some of it can be because we have to be aware. Humans did live through the Ice Age, correct?
Yep. Now, what did humans do to create the Ice Age?
And when ice melts, what happens?
Goes to the lowest point.
Let me ask you a question.
And where's the lowest point?
Depends on the ocean.
The ocean.
But let me ask you a question.
Do
you believe the ice caps are melting? Do you believe the North Pole is melting? Wait, let me ask you a different question. Do you think Antarctica is melting?
I believe certain glaciers are melting at faster rates that we've ever seen them.
Is it melting, or do you think it's
I'm not saying the entirety of Antarctica is melting, but I think it's like the second biggest glacier in Antarctica has been melting at an alarming rate.
at an alarming rate? So you would say that Antarctica is shrinking very rapidly. Is that what I'm hearing?
A glacier in Antarctica.
What about the whole of Antarctica?
The whole of Antarctica, I would hesitate to say that. But I know specifically for that glacier because it has like a Gulf Stream. It's the underwater version of a Gulf Stream. I don't know. It's like it like sits right underneath that. Like
Glaciers have always melted, and Antarctica is growing rapidly, quickly. It's growing like 10 times as fast as it's shrinking. So I don't know if that metrics. I said it's growing significantly faster than it's shrinking.
The entirety of Antarctica?
Yes, it's growing in the other direction. It's melting on one end and it's growing in the other direction very quickly.
Very quickly. In what direction is Antarctica growing?
Well, I would have to look in my. I'd have to look it up, but I know it's quickly growing, way faster than it's shrinking.
Does it matter what? Does it matter what side? As long as what's being melted is being replaced.
Yes.
Do you understand what that means, though? That means that the cold weather of the southern pole is also shifting to freeze that ocean water. So is it getting colder in another area of the planet?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes, it's
what
literally
side of Antarctica is melting?
It's the whatever the name of that glacier is. It's closer to the South American side.
Well, I'd assume the opposite side is being replaced with ice plentifully.
That's an assumption that
It's not an assumption. It's a scientific fact. You can Google it.
I mean, at some point we have to put our trust into the people that study this stuff, right?
Okay.
The same people. Oh my gosh, same people paid to say that there's a spectrum of genders.
So what if everyone?
But you trust those same people for your internet. You trust
I
those
don't
same
trust
people
them.
for your technology to do your things on a daily basis.
A doctor doesn't create an iPhone, so a
How
scientist
much
doesn't create an
level of
iPhone.
trust is involved in using a Wi-Fi signal?
In space.
A scientist.
A physicist is a part of that rocket launching off of the planet and putting that satellite in space.
Yeah.
You trust them enough to do that?
They're not climate change scientists. Do you trust a doctor that does transgender surgery?
What's the cost?
Scientific community.
What is the cost of trusting the satellite? What is the cost of trusting the Wi-Fi? Because if it flops out, oh wow, we're knocked back to 1990.
But you trusted enough to realize that, oh, this satellite is real, this internet is real, we're making this shit work, we're making something work to a point where I can call someone in China and speak to them in real time and see what they're doing.
So trust.
Not without pressing one for English.
You trust them enough to figure that shit out, but you don't trust them enough to figure out the weather.
I don't trust them.
I think there's just.
I didn't trust them. It's just they invented this shit, so I use it. And what's your point? Is your point we should trust all scientists?
The fallacy that you guys are running into here.
No, I literally told you I don't trust
Are we
them.
still in an ice age?
The fallacy you're making is you're saying to trust all scientists. Is that your claim? Like, what's your claim here?
No, the scientific community is a community of people that checks themselves. And what I'm saying.
So no science is wrong. All science is right. You want to read that?
No, I'm saying if it is wrong, put it out there for other scientists to see it and critique it. And if you are right in that scientific study being wrong, then we're going to fix it. That's a part of the scientific community. That's why Einstein found that Isaac Newton was wrong about certain things. This is the point of science. It's to find the things that we're wrong about. But what I say is that a lot of people criticize science, but don't put anything out there for people to look at.
Low IQ. Low IQ.
I would like to really quick say thank you, Jimmy Burrs, for $20. Guest thinks all things are racist, and he always right. He didn't research shit. He's a tool of the democracy that is trying to take over the Democratic Republic.
Got any response for that?
I am not a tool for anybody, but if anybody wants to put a little money in my pocket for high speed, then, my Cash App is out there. But yeah, I'm not a tool. I'm not being paid. I'm not trying to put any message out there. I'm just trying to talk about what I feel like is common sense, or should be common sense to the majority of people. And I think about things in a common sense sort of way.
Common
That's a good
sense.
point. This is a good point. Okay, this is some science. This is some science we can all do at home, and I encourage everybody to do this little science project. Jimmy Burris, thank you again. Simply fill a glass with water and ice. If it overflows when the ice melted, I will give you $1,000.
That's water tension. That's completely different.
So what causes rising sea levels then if
Wait
it's
a
not water
second.
tension?
Water tension is not sea level. If you put that.
So what causes sea level?
Water.
How do we get?
Yeah.
Assume that water, because the mass of the ice is already in there, so the water volume is already situated to the ice.
So should the water overflow?
Huh?
Should the water overflow?
No, because the volume of that ice cube is already sitting on top of the ice.
Then,
so the water is
okay.
not going to rise.
Then why don't we see things filling up more? Why don't we see things overflowing? Ice, you're saying ice is melting. You're saying the caps are melting.
No, I'm saying that these glaciers melt. These glaciers sit on land. So the mass of these glaciers are not sitting in the ocean.
I don't think they all do.
So when these glaciers melted after the last ice age and went into the ocean.
Actually, we're still in an ice age.
Wait, are you familiar with the rain cycle? You realize if water melts on land, there's the rain cycle, right?
I understand it's the rain cycle, but the reason the ice cube, the
What
water
percentage
level
of glaciers sit on land?
Is because the mass of the ice cube is sitting on top of that water. You have to understand mass.
By definition, 100%.
Okay, so let me give you another analogy. If a cup of go ahead.
In the situation of the ice age, where the glacier is sitting on top of land, that the mass of that glacier is not sitting in the ocean already. So when that glacier melts and runs into the ocean, or evaporates and rains into the ocean, then the sea level is going to rise because that mass wasn't there already. People don't understand the science.
Do you understand the rain? Okay, so why the fuck does it, when water that comes down from the rain that goes into the water, that hits land and all of a sudden goes in, why does it, how do all the water we have in our country, when we dump water into the ocean from land, why doesn't the sea level rise?
Or does it?
Or does it?
Because that's not enough water to be a significant sea level. Do you understand?
So we've dumped trillions of dollars of water, trillions of gallons.
Glaciers reached all the way past Tennessee during the last ice age.
No, we're still in an ice age.
No, the sea level did not rise 4 inches from 1993 to 2005. No, they didn't.
What I'm saying is, at the peak, there were glaciers south of Tennessee.
So,
right?
Are we still in an ice age?
So I don't know what you're saying. I don't know anything about Tennessee.
The short answer is yes.
Answer my question. Were there glaciers as far south as Tennessee at the peak of the last ice age?
The short answer is yes. Technically, we are living in an ice age right now. To understand why, it helps to distinguish between how we use the term ice age in casual conversation versus how scientists define it. The scientific definition in geological terms, an ice age or glaciation is any period in Earth's history when there are permanent ice sheets present at both the North and South poles. Because Antarctica and Greenland are currently covered in ice, we are technically in the Cenozoic Ice Age, which began about 34 million years ago.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I ask you another question?
At the peak of the last ice age, were there not glaciers as far south as Tennessee?
Sure, okay, but from 1993 to 2025, did the sea level rise 4 inches? No.
That's a lot of mass. That's a lot of glacier space. What I'm saying is when those glaciers went away, is it profound to imagine that caused the sea level to rise?
Can I ask you another question? Well, why is not?
Oh my God.
What was your question again? Go ahead.
is it outside the bounds of someone's mind to imagine that glaciers as far south as Tennessee, all across the planet, like glaciers almost to the equator, and this being melted and evaporated, going back into the oceans?
Oh wow! Here's
outside
another.
the bounds of y'all mind to understand that this would cause a major sea level rise.
Oh, we just Google searched. Did the glaciers ever reach Tennessee? The answer is no. So, no, that never happened. Next. Now, let me ask you a question. From 1993... What?
Oh,
We literally just Google searched it. From 1993 to 2025, the sea level rose almost 4 inches. Do you believe that?
you said what?
From 1993 to 2025, the sea level rose almost 4 inches. Do you believe that?
Sea level rose almost 4 inches. That doesn't sound right.
It says it rose 4 inches, according to this transgender doctor. 1993 to 2025, did the sea level rise 4 inches? Because that's what this transgender Democrat is saying.
That doesn't sound right to me, and that's only one scientist. Does the scientific community agree with that?
The scientific community doesn't agree on anything. That's why your whole point is stupid.
Is that a peer-reviewed paper?
I mean, how many inches do you think it rose then from 1993? Give us a number.
I'm not sure. Maybe 1 or 2, but 4 sounds a bit much.
Maybe 1 or 2, but you have no clue. But 4 sounds like too much. Oh, okay. That doesn't really mean too much. Jimmy Burris says, the land sits in the water, correct? Why, when it rains, does the ocean not overflow as well?
Oh my God. Did he say the land sits in the water?
I mean, that's what an island is, isn't it? Where does it sit then?
There's something called tectonic plates.
I mean, you can use the scientific term if you want. Land sits on the crust of the earth.
Tectonic plates. Will you explain these tectonic plates? I've never heard of these.
You never heard of tectonic plates?
Yes, I've heard of tectonic plates. It's just how you it's just how you sounded there about it, you know, was a little, he's acting like we've never heard of tectonic plates, so I figured I'd ask you.
I'm sorry, that guy just said land sits in water, and I'm like, no.
I'm just reading a super chat.
No.
But technically, it sits on the crust of the earth, the tectonic plates, whatever. I really don't care about a scientific term. It's basically the same difference.
It's not like land.
The world's flat anyways.
It's just a scientific term. In theory, it's the same. Well, floating, no one said floating. We just said, land is on top of water.
It does not. No. The oceans are not holding the mass of our continents. You get what I'm saying? The mass of our continents is sitting on top of the tectonic plate.
Well, someone in the comments said yes, rain from a different. You said someone else said yes, rain from somewhere else falling on a different part of water will raise the water level. Is that what you mean? Do you agree on that?
No, I mean like a large amount of water going into the atmosphere, such as large glaciers melting over a very short period of time, will cause sea level to rise. Just so I'm clear.
Okay, so how much has the sea level rose?
Since when?
Since 1990. Sorry? What is it? Oh, can't wait for no kings.
Okay, so it's about 1/10 of an inch per year.
So how much is that?
It's probably risen about 3.5 to 4 millimeters.
So millimeters or inches?
Per year.
Well, how much since 1990? Give me the numbers.
Roughly, maybe 10 centimeters, maybe. That would be my rough estimate.
That's horrible
maybe
math.
10 centimeters.
That's horrible math, but okay. I don't know. What source is that?
4 inches.
What source is that? 4 inches or 10 centimeters?
10 centimeters is probably where I would go.
Based on what study? I thought you said you needed multiple studies and research papers. Where is it?
This is coming directly from NASA.
I thought you said you need multiple though.
Based on satellite data. So And
I thought you said you need multiple research. Is that accepted in the scientific community?
NASA is a conglomerate of several different sciences.
Okay, so that means the rest of the scientific community is forced to believe
And
that.
also, there are different atmospheric sciences in climate.gov that also works for the government. So if I look at both of these sources, they're telling me the same thing.
So one source at NASA is enough. Okay, I understand. But
one source. Do you think NASA just announces things without checking it with multiple?
And by the way, 10 centimeters is 4 inches. So we'll just go ahead and skip the part where you fucked up and thought 10 centimeters was different from 4 inches because it's exactly the same. But
And you also felt like 4 inches was a bit much.
and you also felt like 4 inches was a bit much. You said multiple times you didn't think it was 4 inches, and it turns out according to NASA it's 10 centimeters, which is 4 inches, 3.937 inches.
So we have to give this one to tasty nacho cheese, right?
Well,
No, I'm just saying, I didn't know these sea level rise. I just looked it up. That's why I told you I'm getting this from sources, NASA and climate.gov, and it says 4 inches.
So why isn't Plymouth Rock underwater? So why isn't Plymouth Rock underwater?
It says 10 centimeters here, but
This is the last thing I think we're gonna bring up, unless someone drops like a super chat or some memberships. But I think this is the end of the debate. But my final question is, why isn't Plymouth Rock underwater?
why is it Plymouth Rock underwater?
Do you know what Plymouth Rock is, or are you just too focused on African history of a country you'll never go to?
Oh, God.
I know what Plymouth Rock is, and it depends on why are you asking why isn't Plymouth Rock on the water?
Why isn't it underwater? Because you just said the sea level rose 4 inches. So why isn't it underwater?
It depends on where it started. Where I mean, did you see Plymouth Rock when people first landed here? Where was it?
It was not underwater.
Is that even the same rock?
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah,
rock.
it's the same rock.
They literally have a picture of it. Yeah, it's the same rock.
Yeah, it's been.
What was it marked when people landed here?
Was it? Yeah, it was marked.
Okay, let's say it wasn't marked. I mean, when would be the last time it would have been moved? I mean,
they have pictures of it from over 100 years ago. But even if it was there for 30 years in the same spot, shouldn't it be underwater? Is it on the beach?
there's pictures of it from how long ago?
I think since the first camera.
It says right here, no, Plymouth Rock we see today is not exactly.
It was moved. I will say that it was moved. Yeah, it was moved. I already know this. I've already read into this. It was moved in the exact same spot in the water line. It wasn't moved further up. It was moved slightly over to the right, so it was not moved up past the shoreline. It was in the same spot. Vertical.
1774. It
Yeah.
moved a few hundred feet to a new site.
Yes. Well, not a few hundred feet, but maybe. But it wasn't the distance from the water to the rock.
1774. So do we know why?
We know where it's been for the last 40 years. Why hasn't the water moved closer? You have an answer or not?
Why was it moved?
Huh?
Why was it moved in the first
I
place?
think they were doing some kind of construction project or something.
Fucking construction workers. They just had to fuck everything up.
But that's irrelevant. I don't really care if it was moved. I already knew it was
The
moved.
original location.
It was, I don't know, a couple hundred feet, I guess, like you said, from the original spot. But why isn't it underwater? It's still on the beach.
Is it higher up on the hill? Do we know the elevation?
No, it's not higher up on the hill.
On the same level, the same sea level?
Yeah, we do.
Know this?
Yeah, we do.
Have we looked this up?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you're asking questions to.
No, we've already had this debate before. We've already had this debate literally like multiple times in the last 9 months.
No, I've never had this debate.
No, I'm saying me and Dustley have.
Oh, okay.
Well, can you show me any landmark that is now with 4 inches more of water, like Miami Beach?
Okay,
I don't know anything.
It says right here, in 1774, a group of local citizens.
Okay, yeah, it was moved.
Decided to move from its original location on the shore to a more prominent spot near Town Square. So
It's not in Town Square. No, it's not in Town Square. It's on the beach to this day. What are you talking about? What are you reading?
It says they moved it to a more prominent spot near Town Square.
It's not in Town Square.
Town Square, it's near the beach.
It's on the beach, yes.
Do you think near town square is near the beach?
Well, would you like me to Google a picture of Plymouth Rock?
Do you think that? Do you think
Why
that's
don't you
the same
Why don't
sea
you
level?
hop on Google and look up Plymouth Rock?
That's why I'm saying, like.
It's on the beach. Can you just show me one single thing that's been submerged by 4 inches? It doesn't even have to be Plymouth Rock. Just show me physical evidence I can see with my own eyes of climate change, of the water rising 4 inches. If it doesn't exist, the debate is over, and we won.
What?
If you can't show physical evidence of it, then you lost.
We already know that it was moved, but you don't know the.
Yeah, it was moved over 100 years ago. What's your point? Why isn't it more underwater? It's on the beach, is it not? Look up a picture of Plymouth Rock, 2026.
The rock was moved away from the shoreline. Originally, it was partially buried along the waterfront in 1774,
So what's the changes in the last 100 years?
Inland.
It's not
It was
inland, dude.
moved inland. How are you guys not knowing this?
It's not moved inland, dude.
It was.
Does that look like it's inland to you?
It was moved. It was moved inland in
No.
1774.
Look, there's water in there.
There is literally water. There is literally water right next to the Plymouth Rock from the beach.
Why don't you do your Google search and look up why was the rock moved?
We already looked that up. Why don't you just look on stream? I'll show you a picture. There you go. There's Plymouth Rock. Right there is the beach. That's 2026. You can see the water right there on the edge right there, and there you go. So why isn't the water 4 inches closer?
It was still moved in, so it was never moved.
Yeah, it was moved 100 plus years ago. What's your point? I'm talking about your claim of 4
Was
inches.
it moved further inland?
It doesn't
Even
matter.
if it was moved
It's
in
still
like over
pouring the
100
water.
years, something that should have changed. If in
Nothing
fact
has
it's
changed.
rising.
You can't give an example of it moving 4 inches. You're being conned. You're being conned. And you literally can't see
You just
any
said-
evidence with your own eyes.
You just said it moved 4 inches
A small change. Is
or
a
10
lot, right?
centimeters.
Yeah, 100 years ago. Okay, so where on earth is any example of anything being submerged by 4 more inches? Shouldn't it be very easy considering all
I'm
the...
sorry, but
So you have no physical evidence of your
when did
claims.
America started having cars?
Here we go. Pivoting. You have no evidence.
No,
Okay,
it's not
case
pivoting,
closed.
But if you
Case
want to see
closed.
The sea level rising is increasing between these years because we have this all this industry. We didn't have industry.
You
back
can't
in
show any
20
evidence.
years.
You can't show any evidence.
Then
I
why
understand.
isn't the water getting closer to the rock?
Because it was moved inland.
But the water's still gonna.
150
But
years
the water's
ago.
still gonna get closer to the rock.
I showed you a picture of it. It's not inland. It's still next to the beach, but you won't Google
What
that.
is a picture going to do if they're actually telling me that it was moved? Like there's actual.
Dude, there's an
documentation
actual
about it.
picture from like a couple fucking weeks ago of Plymouth Rock.
Because it was moved.
Yeah, 150 years ago.
Closer to town square.
It was moved. It was moved.
He's still telling me it's in town square. Like he just thinks this rock is smack dab in the middle of the city.
You want to look up where it was moved again?
I showed a picture on stream, but you were too ignorant to even look at it.
1834, 1880. It was moved again and placed under a granite canopy.
Okay, here you go. I'll show you guys again. That's Plymouth Rock today. That's water coming in. Everyone on the stream can see. Here, just turn on my stream. Look, I know you see it. You see that? Look on stream. I know you can see that. Look, take a look. That's Plymouth Rock.
I don't see the stream.
Okay, well I'll turn on the camera. Here, I'll turn on the camera. You can see it on camera if you want. Sure. I'll show you a picture of Plymouth Rock.
It was moved again on 1830.
It's irrelevant. Do you know where it is now? I guess you think it's the middle of the city.
So it
There you go. There's Plymouth Rock. Hold on. There's Plymouth Rock.
Okay.
There's
Now-
water right there leaking in the corner. Why isn't it?
When was the last time Plymouth Rock was moved?
I think the 1800s.
Why isn't it
No.
underwater?
18.
No, it actually wasn't. It was 1920. Now I know what you're going to say. Okay, just hear me out. Okay, and you can. 1920, they moved it. They supposedly moved it back to where it originally was. Now you're going to say, how do we know where it originally was? My argument's going to be, it's been in the same spot since 1920, over 100 years. Why have we not seen change? It's actually irrelevant. It's been a stationary marker for over 100 years. Why have we not seen change?
Jimmy says it's not all land islands and oceans. There are different sizes, correct? Do you believe in Pangea? If so, emerging you say about global warming is correct. Incorrect, sorry. Natural climate change is the only thing making sense. I agree with that, Jimmy. I agree.
Well, but that's besides the point. I'm saying that if there was a change, it was 4 inches of change.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay. Where's the change?
How can you tell a 4-inch sea level rise over 10 years? How can you see it?
How can I see? Do you know how big 4 inches is? I mean, just look at your PP and you can see how big 4 inches is. There's a big fucking change. There's a big change. It's not.
The brain's actually trying to tick. How do you see a 4-inch sea level rise over 10 years?
I mean,
how do you visualize?
I mean, your woman can probably see 4 inches, so why can't we see a 4-inch change?
No, do me a favor and try to visualize that.
I can. If you want to see, it would be over. It would be over the front of the. It would be at least considering the water is right here. It would be on the bottom of the rock.
You have to know where the sea originated.
No, I don't. All I need to see is that the sea is pouring into the rock enclosure, and if it's pouring into the rock enclosure, it should be 4 inches higher over a 30-year.
What's the sea level difference between high tide and low tide?
And where? Where exactly? Depends where. Like, that's a very broad question.
What's the average difference between high tide and low tide?
There is no average difference. It depends where in the world you are. Like, this is a stupid fucking question. There's not an average.
Right. Okay. Let's ask the question right there at Plymouth. What is the average difference between high tide and low tide in that area?
Well, you can see that, but it still doesn't account for the fact that it hasn't moved.
Yes, you have to account all these things because we're talking about sea level, right?
So can you give one example of anything going underwater because of rising sea levels?
You can see it every time there's high tide.
So he's going to take his measurement at high tide.
So high tide is rising sea levels.
See, I would honestly average low tide to high
It's
tide.
global
That's what I
change.
do.
Is freaking global warming. Oh, okay. I understand.
But there are actual scientists that actually do the work and see this stuff. That's what I'm saying. I understand that. It's
Okay,
hard.
where's their evidence? They're just stealing billions and not trillions of dollars for climate change. Where's the evidence?
They actually get paid to do this stuff.
Exactly! They get paid to feed you bullshit. Now you're realizing it.
No, they actually get paid to be good scientists.
How are they good scientists?
Wait a second. Do you think people go to school for 20 years
Yes.
just to do a shitty job?
Yes.
If they're being paid for it, yes, absolutely.
Do you think scientists are being paid by politicians?
Yes, I absolutely believe that.
I mean, I can show you connection of that. That's very easy to show.
The average scientist.
What do you mean? What's
Oh,
average?
the hair.
What do you mean? The guy getting out of
Because
school just now?
As a scientist, if you put out a paper, that has to be peer reviewed. That means each and every scientist that sees that paper can review it and critique it. What I'm saying is that every politician has to pay off each and every scientist across this nation.
No, they don't, because all scientists don't agree on global warming. They don't have to.
Y'all are thinking of some type of large.
Why would they have to be paid off when they all don't agree on it?
It's general science.
They don't agree on it.
You can't trust science until you go on Google, pretty much.
No,
That's
none of them
what I'm
agree.
saying. You can't trust science until Google was used.
Most of them don't agree. I don't know what your point is. Most of them don't agree.
Scientists are behind Google. Scientists are behind OpenAI.
Should we just end this debate at this point? I mean, you're just spouting bullshit. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
But you don't trust the scientists behind global weather change.
I don't trust really much science
Oh, I think it's
other
climate
than there's
change.
actual evidence.
I mean, you go from spring to summer, summer to fall, fall to winter. There's definitely climate change.
I'm not even saying
Science backs that up.
I'm not even saying I disagree in climate change. I just disagree in their
Science
studies.
is saying that us putting all the carbon dioxide and different chemicals in the air that we have over since we've been industrialization and been doing all this stuff, that in itself hasn't affected some type of change in our weather.
I mean, sure. I mean, everything's got it's cause and effect for everything. I don't think that it's huge, but I think I'm a reasonable person, even though I know you don't think I am, but there is cause and effect. There is heat that comes off of a light bulb, and that heat, even though it diminishes, it still disperses and keeps on going because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It's there.
Can we agree that we have 8 billion people on this planet, going on 9 billion at this point?
Sure.
If all these different countries are trying to catch up to America the same way America did, India, China, all these people are putting all types of it's not just America that's doing this. I know we're just thinking about America right now, but there are all types of different countries putting stuff into the air with no regulations at all. Can we say that?
Yes, we can say that, but I would like to also add that it's actually 8.1 billion people. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this into perspective for you. Do you consider Rhode Island a very big area in comparison to the world?
No.
Okay, all those people can fit on Rhode Island. Every person in the world can fit on Rhode Island. All of a sudden, it's not a lot of people.
Wait, I'm not talking about just the area that we can fit 8 billion people in. I'm just saying that there are a lot of people on this planet, and people have...
Yeah, they can fit on a small island.
People have ambitions, and yes, one person can fit on a small island, but also one person can pay other people to build a whole smithing factory and put thousands of pounds of chemicals into the air on a regular basis. Just one person can also do that too.
I don't think it's so much chemicals. Bill Gates claims cow farts is causing climate change.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Bill Gates is a part of the problem too.
Okay, so you don't believe in all climate change
He's
studies.
a scientist.
He's a scientist. He is a fucking scientist.
Hey, I'm glad. Hey, I'm actually glad you said that. Okay, I'm just.
Bill Gates is not a real scientist.
So,
I don't.
he has a science degree. He's a real scientist. Fuck that.
He doesn't publish papers for other people to look at and review it and
He published.
anything like that.
Are you sure about that?
I'm in here now.
I don't see Bill Gates publishing any scientific discoveries or anything like that. Now, back in the day, his younger years, he built a computer. He built, Microsoft from the bottom up. Good job. I mean, capitalism for the win. But as far as all the other stuff, nah. Just because he's rich doesn't mean he has a good opinion on anything.
And what makes these NASA scientists so good?
Because they're not.
Bill Gates. Because they're not Bill Gates.
No,
Okay.
because they're not just simply saying, I'm right because I say so. They're saying, I believe this is what I've done as my body of work, and put it out to other scientists to critique it. That's
So what part of their body of work has convinced you?
What body of work has convinced me of what?
Human climate change being an issue.
Can you name one of these scientists you trust so much?
Can I name...
What studies did they do that convinced you, other than just telling you?
It's been a lot over the years, I would say. Probably, I can't just think of just one specific paper, but just one scientist that just had me just believing most science in general. I would say just Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, you believe him?
What evidence did he give you?
What evidence he give me of what?
Exactly! What evidence did he give you of what? He's black, so it has to be true. He's a black scientist.
Wait a second, what's wrong with Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, I'm just asking you, what scientific evidence have you seen that it's real? You haven't named any, and I don't think you'll be able to.
So, what scientific...
Because I actually don't think he's a real scientist.
He's a real physicist.
A physicist is not a scientist.
Yes, I mean, physics it's a science. So technically,
Okay, you can say being a mechanic is science. Okay.
You know what I mean by the sciences. Like when people refer to the sciences, it's usually STEM related, math, tech.
Okay, he's a real scientist. He's an astrophysicist. He's not even a what did you say he was?
Yeah, he's an astrophysicist, not a climate change specialist.
Yes, he's an astrophysicist. Yeah.
So we can agree that his
Expertise.
his expertise is not in climate change; it's in astrophysicist.
Yeah, I thought he was asking why do I trust science? And
No, why do you what? I'm just asking. From the studies you read, what evidence did you see that was so convincing, other than them just telling you water rose? Like, what did you find?
It's not something that I particularly find. I just look at the different studies when they're put out there, and
So you just believe what they say without looking at how the studies are done.
But it's usually accepted by the scientific. I trust the
So
scientific community.
Okay, so you trust other
But you
people's
don't know the
you
scientific
trust
community.
other people's opinions without doing research. Okay.
Wait a second. I do dibble and dabble into the people that actually do some of these peer reviews on some
So
of these
you
studies.
research the people. You don't review the peer review.
When I look at something like some of the, just recently I did some studying on the gender stuff and some of the abortion stuff.
Okay, how many genders are there? You're gonna tell me there's a million different genders now because the scientist said so?
He ain't going to.
Let's see.
I mean, I could really care less about the gender stuff.
Okay, so but science says there's multiple genders, Django. You have to believe it. You're forced to.
Let's be fair. If like the last argument we had, if a hermaphrodite is born with two parts, what can they identify?
Only one sex organ works, and 99% of them. Only one sex organ works. You realize that, Django? Yeah. They can either make a baby with a uterus, or they can make a baby with sperm. Do you realize that?
So it just depends on which one is. What if he looks like a guy?
Why does looks have to do with anything? I could say you look like a woman. Does that make you a woman?
What if he looks like a guy but the vagina works?
Well, you look like a woman, but your dick works, I think. I don't know. You sound and look like a woman, but I think your part works, but I don't know.
Question that we have to address, like as a country.
It's not philosophical. It has nothing to do with your looks.
But this is a real philosophical question.
It's not philosophical. No, it's not.
So if the vagina is working, it has to be a female. Whatever part works.
I mean, it's not even about working. Intersex is a mutation. If you want to say intersex is a third gender, I could care less. We could say it is. I don't really care. But at maximum, there's only 3 genders. If you want to count a mutilation, a genetic mutilation as a gender, there's only 3. Then okay, cool.
I'm saying, if you walk up to me and you decide to identify as a fucking Twinkie, I'll be like, that's you and that's your business. I will keep moving, and I
sounds like you've dealt with that from experience.
Why Twinkie and not Ding Dong?
I will look at you crazy and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Well, respect for that. I ain't gonna keep it moving, but okay, respect for that. But no, that's not gender. That's just someone calling you a name. If they call you a twink, that means they think you're gay. That's not your gender.
As long as you're not being a menace to society, as long as you're not affecting me and mine, it ain't my business. I mean, this is a free country. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I could care less. I mean, that's not what I vote on.
So if you have children and transgenders come up to them and say, you're going to join us, you're fine with that. Okay, cool.
I mean, that's just not what's happening.
Are you sure about that?
We already looked up how many children in this country under 12 has had some type of actual surgery.
Well, we've already been over HIPAA laws. This is not going to turn into a transgender debate. This is going to go too long. I kind of want to wrap up in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good one.
But
I don't run away from any type of...
I'm not running away. We already talked about this.
Like that. Huh?
I said I'm not running away. We already talked about this.
No, I'm just saying, like, I know the last guy kind of crashed out.
Oh yeah, no, I respect you for not running away. The last guy fucking crashed out.
Yeah, I'm not going to accuse you of crashing out. I'm not going to accuse you of rage quitting. No, sir.
I'm not gonna badmouth you. I mean, I think you're wrong, but I'm not gonna fucking say that piece of shit just rage quitted like I did on the last guy.
Yes, yes, sir. You were also wrong. But yeah, I enjoy the sparring. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys get back together. I heard that you guys doing the No Kings counter protesting thing.
Yes, sir. I think we're going to expose something tomorrow.
We have a really big story that we're gonna be talking about.
Let me ask your opinion on this. And I think we're going to see eye to eye on this. So this will be a good building moment for us. If you've got 10 people at a protest from noon to 2, and then those 10 people at 2 o'clock pack up
and go to
protest. Another location for the same type of protest, but at a different location. Did 10 people protest that day, or did 20 people protest that day?
That's 10 people.
Okay, because I agree with you. So 10 people protested that day, just 2 different locations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, based off how you explained it to me, that's just 10 people.
Okay, because this is what I expect to find tomorrow, because this is the first one they've done like this. And they included, the last one I went to, they included me into their count, which I'm not with them, but okay, that's fine. Not to mention they counted some of their people twice. Okay, fine and dandy. But now this time, they offset the times of 2 different locations in my area. Actually, there's like 4 different times. And I've got a strange hankering feeling that what they're going to do is exactly what I described. They're going to pack up at 2 o'clock and they're going to take off to another county and start protesting again. And they're going to fluff up their numbers so that they can say, this was the greatest No Kings ever.
So how many times do we have to have a No Kings protest? And every single time we have it, we're going to claim it's bigger. Like, how many times can they say that until you don't believe it? They're going to say it 20 times, 30 times?
This was the second one.
No,
No,
this
it's
is
third
the
one.
No, it's third one.
Yeah, it's third one.
I don't keep up with that, but I mean, I used to do a lot of protesting in my younger days, but I found other ways to kind of do my protesting, I guess. I mean, hey, big ups to y'all. Y'all actually going out there in a volatile moment in history. I just want y'all to be safe. I want to debate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please go out there and just, do y'all thing, do y'all big one, go viral, make y'all points. I always want to see the next man be successful regardless. Yeah.
I respect you. I respect that.
Yes, thank you.
Real Talk TV, what was it? Real Talk 2024?
Yeah, Real Talk Politics 24.
Real Talk Politics 24.
I don't know like how many people is expected to be out there, but I know it's very sketchy being just outside during any political shit right now. So yeah, just keep your head on swivel.
It's not so bad in our area. It's not really Democrat strong. Granted, there are some major assholes at it, but had we go to say Knoxville, Tennessee, I've been to protests in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been to a pro-Palestinian protest, much like I go to the No Kings protest. And in Knoxville, being a Democrat-ran area, my First Amendment was not respected and I was asked to leave. In these areas, the police said, nah, you're not doing nothing wrong. Go back up there and give them hell. 2 completely different areas, 2 completely different responses from law.
That's a little off. I mean, everybody's right to protest or counter protest should be respected. And you shouldn't have anybody with a badge telling somebody to leave, especially if they have a right to be there. I definitely disagree with that.
But I didn't fight it.
Yeah,
I didn't fight it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. You're not going to win that. You're not going to win that. I just like it's happened before, good and pretty, but you're just not going to win that. You're fighting a losing battle, and that's not how you fight it.
Oh yeah, unless you're one of those First Amendment guys. I've been seeing a lot of those guys pop up on YouTube recently, and they seem to be able to. I don't know. I think it's like kind of a moment-to-moment type deal. Like, you probably could have stayed there, and they could have asked you all they wanted to leave, but you probably could have. You are within your rights to stay there. You know, if they ask you to back up, I mean, back up by all means, but you're within your rights to be there. Like, they shouldn't have told you to leave, and you had all the rights in the world to just keep your 2 feet firm and stay there. Shit.
Yeah, but it is what it is. You know, I don't want things. I got family I got to take care of, and that comes first. What it is, you know, I wasn't going to escalate. I'm not going to escalate things. That's just stupid. You know.
I know it's been one of them. You know, I've been on the other side of things. I was all out there during that BLM protest stuff, even here in Mississippi, and I always respected everybody's right to protest. You know, everybody's right to be there, regardless of what side you stood on. Like, I seen some police officers, you know, try to tell, you know, some people that was not supportive of us to try and leave. They have a right to be here. They have a right to see everything that's going on. They have a right to say what they want to say. You know.
Yeah, you can't move them just because they're black. That's wrong.
What is that?
You can't move them just because they're black. That's wrong.
No, I'm talking about the people that was like, you know, protest. Because I'm in Mississippi, you know, a BLM protest here. It's always gonna be a bunch of people that's showing up that's going to be against you. Like, we were always outnumbered here, and it got, you know, pretty sticky in some of
That actually surprises me. Y'all we're outnumbered out there.
There's a lot of black people in Mississippi, but did they bring out the hoses and the dogs?
Yeah. It's a lot of black people, but it's also a lot of conservatives that feel very emotional about their politics down here. And depending on the situation and the location that you're in, a lot of those situations we were outnumbered, and we just, you know, it's good to respect everybody's wishes, especially when they're trying to get a message. I fully believe in the First Amendment, like real life, like honestly.
Well, anyways, I had a good time. I think we had some constructive parts, and it was a fun conversation, even though we did, we were just as much a part of it, even though we did take a huge walk from voter ID to climate change.
Yeah.
So we should all be able to laugh about that, by the way.
Yeah, right. But that's how it usually goes when I debate Euro on travel. You know, it usually goes all over the place.
I got
I
you.
appreciate y'all. And for real, y'all be safe tomorrow, regardless of.
We will.
I feel like it's gonna be a safe area. You know, just I want to debate y'all. I want to have the opportunity to debate y'all again.
You will. Nothing's gonna happen to us, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're gonna hop off here, man. You have a good evening. You good?
I'm good. Have a good evening, man. Appreciate you coming on.
All right, no problem.
God bless. Peace. Just kidding. Alright, we're gonna end the stream now. Smash that like and subscribe button. Make sure you guys come around tomorrow at noon on the channel for the No Kings protest. Have a nice night, everybody. Peace out. Time to flip the camera off, guys.